Well, good evening, everyone, and thanks for tuning into the Cool Channels. It's time for the Coach Ingram Show. I'm Roger Cunningham, and alongside me tonight is the head football coach of the Seminole County Indians, Mr. Alan Ingram. Coach, as we always say, it's always good to be with you on Monday nights.
Always good to be with you, Roger.
Of course, we tape this and it airs on Thursday, but we do this on Mondays after the Friday night games. And first round of the Class A public school playoffs this past Friday night. Second round, but you didn't play a first round, and so you were automatically in the round of 16 by virtue of the split this year between the public and the private schools and everything. So technically, we've made it as far as we did last year when we had to go up and play Eagles Landing in the round of 8. We're in the Elite 8 this year, but thank goodness we don't have to play Eagles Landing this coming Friday night, which we'll talk about that in just a little bit. But this past Friday night, Seminole County with a big 36-7 win over Commerce High School. They traveled a good long distance. I was talking to their radio guy, and I don't know, I think he said it was like 360 miles or something like that they traveled to get down here. Long trip for them, and they came into this game at 5-5, but they came out of a region where it was all private schools except them, and they I guess they played some pretty tough opponents early on in the year, which gave them a high power ranking. So even though they finished, I think, 5th or 6th in the region, they still qualified for the playoffs as the number 13 seed out of 16, out of the 16 teams that qualified. So a decent little football team from Commerce. They had some athletes. I'll tell you what, that number 1, number 8, number 15, they were, I can't remember their names. I think Bowden was one and Little was the other one, whatever. But anyway, they had some pretty good athletes on that team.
Yeah, that 15's he's an excellent ball player. All kind of speed, all kind of ability. You know, he didn't like to run up inside a whole lot. He didn't like that.
No, he didn't like. You could tell.
Contact, but you gave him a little crease and let him get a step on you. Then he was trouble. And then H, he's just all around athlete. But again, he must have got hit early in the ball game because he didn't look anything. On the field like he did on film. Yeah, about midway through the second quarter, I could see him.
He'd go up there through the line instead of bearing down. He'd either go sideways a little bit, and one time he even backed, in there a little bit when he got there, kind of a little spin moving back because he didn't want to get hit head on, and it really slowed him down some. But
15, the fullback, he was a football player.
He was.
I'll tell you.
Yeah, he didn't mind. He didn't mind taking a little punishment. He also gave out some.
That's right.
I remember talking to you after the game, and you said, "I'd like to have a whole team of 15s."
Absolutely.
But anyway, jumped out early on them, had a 2-touchdown lead on them early, and they're not a passing ball club. And I was up in the booth. Charles Scott and I were up there calling the game, and for Play On Sports, a GHSA TV network deal, and Charles was making the comment, well, this team just does not like to pass the ball at all, and now they're down by a couple of touchdowns. They're really going to have to go for broke now, but they never really could get a whole lot going against our defense. They had some opportunities, got down there at 1st and goal on about the 5 or 6 yard line, and got pushed around and had 4th down and tried to do a reverse play. Just not something that they probably do a lot of, and they ended up fumbling, which it was 4th down, so it would have been turned over on downs anyway. But we were just kind of curious at why they would even call that play. But I'm not a coach, so I don't know, and he knew the players better than I do.
We pursued to the ball. We was getting all the flow to the ball, and like I said, we kind of gained tackle. And if you look at the end of every play, there's going to be 7, 8, 9, 10 kids most of the time in that pileup, and that's what it was all about. He'd run 1st and goal somewhere around the 3, I think, wasn't it? He run up in there 3 times and didn't get anything. If you can't throw the ball, you can't get it running around at him. You got to do something. You can't get outside, so you got to come up with some type of trickery, and because you don't have anything else to lose, there. So I kind of thought, it was going to be a reverse or a quick screen or something like that,
Well, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it was, 20-0 at halftime, or 20?
It was 23-7.
23-7. That's right. 23-7.
We played almost a perfect first half. Had everything our ways except for that one speed option there, and our outside linebackers was supposed to go to pitch immediately, and Jakari we was going to take the pitch away and make the little quarterback run the thing, but and we had the defensive ends and the inside linebackers on quarterback. But anyway, Jakari tripped, slipped, did something, but he didn't get to the pitch anyway, and it was that little one got a crease in there, and it was over with.
Yeah,
probably 75 yards or so. I don't even know what it was. I know it was 65 plus. But that was the one defensive mistake we made the first half.
Yeah, and it cost us. I mean, it
usually does.
It cost us because I think it was 21-7 or something like that, and then they, whatever reason, they did some kind of goofy play or something. They got backed up down there. I think we turned it over on downs, I think, and they got backed up there and then tried to run a play, and their guy ran into the end zone, and we tackled him for a safety. I thought he fumbled the ball, and we recovered it for a touchdown. But anyway, the referees gave us a safety on it, so it's 23-7.
That was a good call.
It wasn't. It was 23-7 at halftime, but they were very deflated.
Well, they ran the jet, and the jet sweep, and he got out there, and there was no place to go, and so he just reversed field, and when he reversed field, we had somebody in his face, so he dipped back. And he didn't booger it.
It was over because he was 6-7 yards deep in the end zone.
Oh yeah, he'd run that thing. I don't know, the ball somewhere around 20-25, so he'd run 30 yards backwards. One of those linemen, I saw it on film. Didn't know so much in the ball game, but a lineman come running down there, jumped all over him, chewed him out about it. But anyway, he was running the wrong way for whatever. I don't know what he was telling him.
Looked like what was it? Carl Ellard of the Vikings went the wrong way for a safety one time, or Ellard, one of the other. Anyway, I can't remember. But anyway, saw you at halftime. You were still a little bit upset about some things midway through the second quarter. Where the team started doing what you say, wallering around.
Yeah.
Just standing up, blocking, not really attacking the defenders off the line of scrimmage or anything like that, and that's happened a few times this year. Do you think the kids just get complacent, or what is
lose
the deal
focus?
with that?
Absolutely lose focus. I mean, kids, you got to keep them interested in something. 21-0, they're ready to cruise in.
Mm-hmm,
you know how kids are, and they're ready to cruise. First half's over with, and we let our guards down. Made that one mistake. It's 21-7, and the Commerce kids got a little fired up. They was ready to go, and we'd already hit that cruise control button, and didn't want to get off of it. And we go at a halftime, and I thought we were ready to come back out, second half and play. Got them refocused on what we needed to do, and adjustments, and dang, if they didn't make better adjustments than we did at halftime, they came back out that third quarter.
They were moving it.
Oh, they took it. There was one drive. I mean, we came out there standing straight up, defensively. But it was the only time the whole night that they drove the ball on us. Mm-hmm. And they took that opening second half kickoff and basically stuck it down our throat. And that's when we were talking about earlier when they first and goal down at the 3, took 4 shots at it in there. But we bowed our backs and kept them out, played good defense, and played from that point on. But defensively, but we kind of stuck it up offensively.
Yeah, I was going to say, it kind of stuck it up in the third quarter offensively. And Charles and I were up in the booth, scratching our heads, saying, when we saw him moving that ball down there like that, and I think if they had scored there that time when they moved it down, you've been looking at a whole different ball game.
23-14.
And you guys have been saying, oh my, with a few adjectives in there, and they would have had the life going, and then all it would have taken again would have been one more play, pitching it to number one, and let him, because if he got, like you said, if he got around the corner, he was gone.
That whole third quarter, they controlled the line of scrimmage. They score and get motivated there, and our kids, we hit the panic button, and anything could have happened then. But we were very fortunate to hold them out the end zone there, and then offensively, we basically we stuck it up from a coaching standpoint and from a player standpoint too. We went back, got to do some things that we had. We basically had things listed that we wanted, the way we wanted to attack it. and we did to start with, basically in order, and we probably went through 5 or 6 plays that was working for us, and so we go through that, and seems like you're catching on a little bit, so we go on down the line, play 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We'll play 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Wasn't working, so we went through all that phase, so we went back to base, and then they had changed, they'd made some adjustments,
Right.
and so we basically had to stand there on the sideline during that segment, or in that third quarter, and figure out again what they were doing. And so we got cranked up toward the end of the third quarter and the fourth quarter.
It seemed like you kind of went back to the basics a little bit.
We did,
absolutely, and everything.
And that's all we did to start with. We went to our power attack, just like we have the last 3 weeks.
Right.
And the whole plan was, we're going power. If it doesn't work, then we'll go to our finesse game.
Well, I saw you started the game out in the I formation, and then changed up a little bit, went to a single setback with almost like a wing T look a little bit, and then Aiken was running the ball well, and then you brought in Javante Smith. He's a little change of pace, and that worked out well. But again with Thomas Aiken, it didn't look to me like they wanted to tackle him much. I mean, they.
I tell you what, the first 2 or 3 times Thomas touched the ball, and he hit a couple of wrong gaps in their holes in there. We didn't. They would bring their ends. They were slamming those outside linebackers really hard. We couldn't get them kicked out, so we had to pin them down inside. But hey, Coach Reese, we're going to take a break in just a second.
Yeah.
Can you run that thing? Coach Reese has got to run off some tape.
Yeah, we're here, and we're in the war room, so we're kind of occupying their tape machine.
Thomas made a couple of bad little runs in there, hitting wrong gaps and things like that. And he's a freshman,
right?
But I'm telling you, he's a beast when he wants to be. He gets fired up, cranked up. I tell you, we ran a little toss sweep out there on 3rd down and 4 or 5, and they happened to be slanting that side of the field, and we didn't have anything going at all, and he just powered through there and got the first down. And liked to broke that thing, But he made a couple of runs. The long touchdown run, in the fourth quarter or late in the third quarter, whenever it was not his best run. That sweep where he had to fight for that first down was his best run in the ball game.
But the impressive thing about that long run, and we'll take a break, is that I think people didn't realize the speed that he has. I mean, he's not a slow kid. I mean, he's not. He's not a 4.142, but the kid's got some speed for his size.
He'll outrun me and you, Roger.
Well, that's not saying that. He may not outrun Coach Reeves, but he can outrun us.
That's right.
Coach Reeves is saying he outrun him, but for a freshman, I don't think you should be tickled to death in what you have there in Thomas Aiken.
Yeah, if we could, we could just keep his nose clean, and he'd get serious about things. He could play, on Saturdays for sure, and possibly on Sundays. Who knows? But
because he's still got some growing to do.
He's got some growing. He's got some growing up to do too.
He's right.
He's not always serious about his schoolwork, his academics, and that's important.
Sure it is.
Very important for us. That's what we, this is just an extension of the educational process.
Right.
You've heard me say it many times before, and this is not football 101.
It's going to high school first, then it's football.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back, go over some of these stats, and then we'll talk about some of the games that were played in other places Friday night and who will be playing this coming Friday night here at home. So stay tuned. You're watching the Coach Ingram Show here on the Cool Channels.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot at this.
Welcome back to the Coach Ingram Show. Roger Cunningham, Coach Ingram, and Coach, some of the stats from the game the other night. When I'm up there in the booth, I'm not really keeping a track of individual stats and things like that. But then when I got here and looked at this, I couldn't believe we only had 7 first downs. But like you and I were talking about, a lot of big plays in the game. But I sure thought we had more than 7 first downs.
Yeah, we just didn't typically, and I don't, some of that stuff may not be accurate. They do it on the run and all, and then throw it in the computer and it kicks it out. usually go back and re-edit the tape, take the tape, and go back through and check the things back over. But not a whole lot of first downs. They weren't very typical. We've been having that ball control stuff. They did a good job in that little 6-1. I didn't think they could sit there in the thing, but with their little stunts and loops, like that we didn't pick up, they did a really good job with the thing. Again, a very, very good football team. Very good football team.
Ended up with a total of 243 rushing yards. They had 188. We averaged 6.4 yards a carry. They averaged 4.2. We had one pass for 12 yards. So we had a total of 255 yards net. We had one play where there was a negative, 1 yard or something there. But no, I'm sorry, 243. That's right, 255. 243 and 12 is 255. My math, my brain didn't want to work there for a second. But anyway, so 255 total yards in the game. They had 187 total yards in the game. They tried one pass, and it was for negative yards. And but again, that's just not what they do. I mean, they don't like to throw it at all.
And he threw that little tight end screen over there. And we were on top of it. It was a 3rd and long for them. But anyway, we were on top of it. We'd seen Coach Reese had seen it on tape, and we had about 6 of their games, on tape, and I hadn't seen it. And I charged all of them. I had seen it on one, but he caught it on it's crazy, on Sports Vent. He caught it on a highlight.
Oh, really?
Tape. And
well, it just shows the folks how hard. Folks, it's not just Friday night.
Oh,
you guys are preparing. You started preparing for Dooley County. I don't know. We left out of here Friday night about 11 o'clock or something like that, and you were probably already working on them when we left out of here Friday. But I know Saturday and Sunday you were working on them.
Oh yeah, all day Saturday and most of Sunday. But and even Turkey Day.
Turkey Day, yeah.
But our kids were ready to play.
Well,
big thing about it.
Before the game, I asked Coach Rambo. I said, did y'all have a good week of practice? He says, yeah, I really think we did. I thought we had a good week of practice.
I thought, being out of school, usually the week that you're out of school, the fall break that we have, and then Thanksgiving week, practice is usually awful. You never know what to expect on Friday, and all you hope is that the other school that you're playing was out all week too.
Right, right. Well, some individual stats. Thomas Aiken had 12 carries for 115 yards, had 12 yards and lost to a net 103. So that's an 8.6 yard average. Had a 78-yard long touchdown run. And that's the one where he showed that speed that I hadn't really seen. But he kicked it another gear, and he wasn't going to be denied. But one thing I saw him do that I didn't know whether you got onto him or not, but just before he scored, he puts that ball up in the air and everything like that. And I said, oh, please don't get a flag for hot dogging or showboating or whatever.
You know what, I turned my head. Somebody told me today, mentioned it today, that he stuck his finger up or the ball up or whatever. And the other night, I turned my head, when he broke loose and didn't pay any attention to it. I didn't see it. And somebody else was telling me about it today. Actually, the team, we looked at the tape today. I didn't see it again. But, I'm glad you mentioned that because we'll softly
we'll mention that
it tomorrow. Softly.
Softly? Yeah, maybe run a couple laps or something. You never can tell. Jakari had 9 carries for 71 yards. Hamlet had 13 carries for 54. He's a pretty good workhorse in there. Averages 4.2 yards a game. I mean, he's your workhorse fullback sometimes in there and does a good job.
Oh, yeah. He's always gives you everything he's got.
And then Javante added 3 carries for 18 yards, and he's a little burst of energy when you bring him in the ball game.
Oh yeah, first time he ran the jet sweep over there, we didn't remember one time. He turned that thing up, got 12, 15 yards, and run over a couple of guys doing it. But,
yeah, that long run was 15 yards. It was the long run. For him.
A dude is what we call Javante. He can start anytime. He's got 2 or 3 positions he plays. He's very valuable for us. Since Thomas has been back, he hasn't got as much playing time as he'd like to have. But I'm telling you, he did a great job while Thomas was out with that shoulder. And, we don't miss very much when he's in there, I can tell you that.
Well, I think we're missing a touchdown on this stat sheet because I think we had 5 touchdowns, if I'm not mistaken. We're missing one there somewhere. But anyway, don't want to take anything away from the kids. But overall, like you said, you had a good week of practice, showed on the field, and ended up with a big 36 to 7 win over a good Commerce football team.
Yeah,
I mean,
very traditional.
they had decent size on the defense and offensive line. We were out there watching them in pregame warm-ups. Charles and I were, and Charles said that can't be their real offensive defensive line. They must be in the locker room because they look like a B team. And about that time, about a minute later, they come walking out there, start warming up, and Charles went, "Oh, there they are."
The strength was offensive line. I mean, those guys block. They don't miss many blocks. I'm telling you, we looked at them too many times on film. Too many repetitions. I told West, I said, I am sick of looking at them. We'd looked at them so much. West said, I didn't quit looking at them. Talking about on tape. We'd seen them so many times. But you can never find them, making a mistake on that offensive line. Always there, always doing what's supposed to. Feet always moving. The heart of the football team, just like we always try to make our offensive line, the heart of our team. I think you're always going to be as good as your offensive line is.
Oh yeah. Well, that game's over with now. Got a plan for another one. The Elite Eight, Dooley County. How long has it been since Seminole County's played Dooley County? It's been quite a while, hasn't it?
Probably. Well, we hadn't played them since I've been here, and probably played them, I think, the year before I came, or maybe 2 years before. So it's been 10 years. Pushing 10 years, somewhere in that area. Back when Coach Murray was here, I know they played a couple times in playoffs. Hadn't been in the region with them for it's been years, 20, 25 years probably. But Dooley County, always speed, always athletes. They go back a long way with it. Way back when I was in high school, Dooley County, I always knew. Roger Kingdom. That's where he's from. Originally. Remember when he played? They had another one up there that played, pro ball for years. Can't think of his name right now, but. Great athletes, always huge guys, big guys, and big tall guys. But then they got the Adams kids, this year that's on everybody's All-American, everything list. 6'4", 300-pounder, has got his sophomore brother or cousin there beside him, another Adams kid that plays right beside him there. It's about 6'2", 330, and they're not fat. 300, they're just huge human beings. I mean, they are huge. But quick. Got great speed. Plays tight end on offense. But they play him at, plays some fullback back there. So he's a big athlete, and, our work will be cut out for us.
So we're going to have to be on our A game.
Yeah, and he's not, he got a little running back there. It's, he's as good. He can go anytime, anywhere, much like number 1. If you took number 1 for Commerce and number 10 from Miller County and 19 and 21 over at Mitchell and kind of combine those talents, you'd probably come out with this kid.
Wow.
From Dooley County, number 25, he's got tremendous speed. 6'4", quarterback, one receiver, number 4 is exceptionally good. Big, huge, 6'2", 6'4", 280 everywhere. Offensive lineman, defensive lineman, you can't tell where they line up. They shoulder to shoulder on defense, and they're so big, and they bring it upfield. They got good speed, good quickness, athletes everywhere.
Well, they're 9-2. We're 9-2.
Yep.
So how do you game plan for these guys? What do you just run away from them, or
no? We're gonna run right at them.
Come on now, are you just saying that for the show? Or
No. We don't change our offense. We're going to run right at them. We're going to do the things that we do. We're going to try to run off tackle, the power game. If not, we'll run, in between, the finesse game, run the veer attack, try to get it out on the corners, try to load a little bit, try to get the quarterback loose. I think it's probably just looking at them on film, I haven't got a game plan in as such yet. But, just looking through them on film, charting their offense and glancing at their defense as we're doing that, I think should be a big night for the quarterback.
Well, good. I mean, and like we've talked about before, sometimes when you play against a team, they take this away from you, that away from you, but if the quarterback is the guy, then he's the guy for
you. Oh, yeah, we don't care, and our kids don't care about who runs it, and those stats you had right here. So I tell you, they're not always accurate, but it really don't matter to us.
Exactly right. Exactly
it really
right.
doesn't matter. The bottom line is, the kids play together, they do the things, they learn how to work together, which is the most important thing. And that's with football, with this game that we play in high school, is teaching them that working together and doing things right, that you'll eventually reap rewards from it. And and we've been successful with that so far this year. And we just continue to do the things that we normally do and hope for the best.
There you go. Well, looking at the brackets for the public Class A public schools, we're in the upper side, the upper brackets, and so we play Dooley County. When we win that game, we'll play the winner of the Lincoln County-Wilkinson County game. That ought to be a barn buster. Wilkinson upset Miller. I guess you call it an upset. Miller was the number 18, Wilkinson the number 19. I think Wilkinson won that game 27-26. Heartbreaker for Miller County. The folks right up the street. We were kind of hoping that they would go on, because there was a scenario, since they're in the upper bracket with us, that we could have played them in the semis.
That's right.
If it would have worked out that way. Now that would have been a fun game. Another family feud part 2 would have been pretty cool, playoff style.
To go to the Dome.
Yeah, to go to the Dome.
Yeah.
That would have been fun.
That's right.
But and down on the bottom side of the bracket, ECI plays Tryon, and Marion County plays Wilcox. We're real familiar with Wilcox and ECI. I've played them, over the years in playoff action. Lost a heartbreaker up to Wilcox. Went over to ECI several years ago when Bakari Rambo was there, and we had to play them and the striped shirt guys. So that was kind of an interesting game. And then ECI came over here. What was it, a couple years ago? And really handed us our lunch pail when they came over here.
Yeah, it was
to play
close
against
by the end.
We just did not play very well at all against them.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's the lower side of the bracket. We got to get to them first, so we got to take care of business on our side. But what can you tell us a little bit about Lincoln and Wilkinson? Do you know anything about those guys?
Yeah, we played Wilkinson last year. They got the same bunch back. They were basically, all those guys were juniors and sophomores last year, so he's got all those back. Very good football team. First time they played Lincoln this year, 2-point conversion was the difference in that one. Wilkinson went for the 2 points and didn't get it, and Lincoln won the ball game, 21-20, 21-19.
Are those two teams in the same region?
They're in the
Lincoln,
same region.
Lincoln and Wilkinson?
Very same region. Played late 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. So, and Lincoln's not they're not the super strong team that they, have had at times. They're just a good country football team. Sometimes when you get in the playoffs, Larry Campbell's been around so damn blessed long, he gets to pick and choose. Everybody accuses him of that, the officials that he wants, and always use the same crew over there. But, Lincoln Wilkinson, I'd call it a toss-up. Because of tradition, Lincoln probably pull the thing out in a very close ball game. Dooley and Seminole, we know what we're facing, and I feel like we've got them at home. We're going to have an excellent opportunity to pull the thing out.
Well, real quick because we're close out of time, but Dooley, what type of offense and defensive schemes are they running? Are they balanced? Are they more run than pass, or what?
Miller County defense, very same left and right, 6-2 that I run. The 4-4 defense, and we'll call it strength one way or the other according to the tight end or the balance of the line. Defensively, very quick, going to bring the house. Do a lot of stunting. Secondary is extremely quick back there. Offensively, run out of the wing, eye. Very few people run out of the eye anymore. We run out of the eye. He don't play anybody else that runs out of the eye. We didn't play anybody all year that runs out of the eye. So very similar to us offensively. I just think we're a little bit better offensively than they are. And I'll take my defense. Even though they got the big boys over there. If you look in the other bracket, ECI and Tryon, they had I thought Irwin County would do much better this past week than they did against them. I thought Irwin might be for real, but they've been kind of up and down during the year. So I think Tryon will probably get it handed to them, ECI. And then
Well, the game's being played over there in ECI, so that'll tell you something.
that's
there.
right. Yeah, they get those Statesboro, Swainsboro officials
Right.
over there,
Mm-hmm.
about 3 miles from the house. They're pretty good over
Yeah,
there.
we know all about that.
All of his
And-
great
and-
granddaddy's brother.
Yeah, and
You know.
Marion County, that's a team that Miller County actually beat.
Yeah,
early in the year.
Marion's very balanced. Very good football team. Marion beat Dooley early in the year. Of course, they scored 1 touchdown and kicked 3 field goals, and they beat them 12-7.
Mm.
Early in the year. So Marion, is pretty good. They beat Charlton pretty handily the other night, but they'll be playing Wilcox County, and you cannot count O'Sweeney out at Marion. I can tell you that. He's a good friend, but of course Mark Ledford at Wilcox County is a really good friend of mine. He and Robert are the same age, and he kind of like Coach Huff. He calls me Daddy. I talk to him a couple of times a day, as a matter of fact. But anyway, so that Marion Wilcox, I'm telling you, that's a toss-up.
Toss-up game.
Marion played good defense. You'd have to, go with Grace, with Wilcox on that thing. So. I think you'll see in the quarterfinals ECI and Wilcox and Lincoln and Seminole.
There you go. Well, we were kind of hoping it would be Wilkinson and Seminole, so they'd have to come down here.
Yeah,
in the semifinals, because either one of those places, Wilkinson or Lincoln, pretty good little distance.
I won't argue with that. I'm glad. I'm pretty sure that Wilkinson would like to win. They'd like to have another trip back to Seminole.
There you go.
And I guarantee you, I hope that we can oblige him with that.
There you go. But folks, it doesn't get any bigger than where we're at now. We're in the Elite Eight, trying to get to the Final Four, but ultimately the final goal is to get to the Dome and win that game. But we got to take care of business here in the Elite Eight first before we can even think about that stuff. And so come on out. Game time 7:30 Friday night. 7:30 Friday night at Seminole Field here in Donalsonville. We want you to come on out big time, support the boys out there, because trust me, they know when the house is packed.
Oh, absolutely.
They
play too.
Yeah, they know when the
Makes a
house is
difference.
packed. It makes a huge difference. Come out there with your horns, whatever makes noise, bring it. If it's a milk jug filled with rocks, bring it. We don't care. Just come make some noise.
That's right.
And so anyway, we appreciate you tuning in tonight. For Coach Ingram, I'm Roger Cunningham. You've been watching another edition of the Coach Ingram Show. Until next time, everybody, good night. Good evening from Donalsonville, Georgia. The GHSA in association with Play on Sports is proud to present to you high school playoff action. It's Class A division. It's the homestand in Seminole County Indians against the visiting Dooley County Bobcats. I'm Roger Cunningham. Alongside me tonight is Charles Scott. Charles, how are you, sir?
Oh, I'm fine. Feeling good in this football weather.
Yeah, it's perfect football weather. Captains are about to take the field for the coin toss, and Charles, it don't get any bigger than this. We're in the Elite Eight, man. For this game between Seminole and Dooley. All eyes tonight are on big number 32 for Dooley County, Montravius Adams. He's being recruited by everybody. He's the number one defensive lineman in the country and number 7 recruit overall in the country here for Dooley County. So it's going to be a good test for both these teams tonight. Seminole County lost a lot of players last year, Charles. Weren't expected to be in this position, but I tell you what, after the first game when they played against Early County and really got embarrassed, the first game of the season up in Blakely, they've turned things around and really playing well as a unit. The team doesn't have a lot of big stars on it, but they're playing very well as a unit. And that, Dooley County, they've got a few of the stars on their team, and that's why they are where they are. Both teams come into this game 9-2. They ended up the regular season, both of them 8-2, won their first playoff game, and so as I said, they're both 9-2. So give me your thoughts about this game, Charles.
It's going to be hard to just grind it out and fight on both teams. Both of them are 9-2, so at this point, every team is good.
Yeah,
So
there's no slouches anymore.
Yeah, the team with the fewest mistakes and the least penalties is probably going to win this game.
And to be honest with you and I were talking, and I didn't see who won the coin toss.
They haven't even signaled
they
it yet.
They didn't even signal it. That's what was kind of interesting to me. So I thought I was paying attention and thought I missed it, but I guess I didn't.
I'm thinking everyone wants to know because no one knows right now who's receiving the ball first.
Well, here come the Indians through their banner, led by the quarterback, Jakari Martin.
Should be a pretty
And
great
there
game.
goes Dooley County to their sideline. Good crowd here tonight for this game. Last week we were here for the Seminole County Commerce. I had a brain cramp there for a second.
That's fine.
Weren't a lot of folks, as many folks in stage you might usually see here at Seminole County, but it was Thanksgiving weekend. A lot of people were out of town and everything, but that's all over with, and they're here now making some noise. And I tell you what, Dooley brought a pretty good bunch of fans as well.
Nice crowd.
So it's time for playoff action. The teams are taking the field, getting ready for the kickoff.
And we're yet to find out who is receiving the ball first.
Well, I don't see the Indian kicker out there, so I'm going to assume that the Indians are going to receive the ball.
I'm assuming that too.
There'll be a short pause. We'll be back for the kickoff. Welcome back here in Donalsonville. The Indians, in fact, are going to be kicking off this evening. So Dooley County will have the first opportunity with the ball. Again, glad you're with us here. Roger Cunningham, Charles Scott will be with you all the way through the game.
And both sides are standing on their feet, and it is a nice crowd here tonight.
Number 50, Matthew Williams will be kicking off for the Indians. He does the place kicking duties and also plays center for the Indian team.
Multitasking.
And here is boot to leather. It's kind of a knuckleballer. Bounces around field at about the 15 to the 20, 25. Looking for some running room.
And he's breaking tackles all over the place. One of the Indians is going to have to get him, and they finally do. That was number 4, Courtney Clark, on the return. So right away, Dooley County's got some life in the deal and great field position.
Excellent field position.
Marked the ball at the Indian 46-yard line, but it was set up because it was a very low line drive kick, and he was able to get a good running start at it.
This game is going to be won in the trenches by both sides. Which side can dominate the line of scrimmage?
Again, the key player for Dooley County is number 32, Montravius Adams. His cousin, number 44, Malik Adams, is no slouch himself.
No, both of them are big kids. Wouldn't want to be in their living room on Thanksgiving.
Quarterback up under center. Takes snap, fakes it to the tailback. Looking, throws it out long. He's got a man out there, and it's incomplete. Just overthrew him.
And the Indians, Jalen Pearson had pressure on him, which probably kind of made him throw it or overthrow it.
Pass intended for number 4, Courtney Clark. He was the only one out in the pattern. Quarterback is number 7, A.J. Smith.
And A.J. Smith he has an arm, just put it like that.
Well, obviously Dooley County saw a lot of film on Seminole and said, they play a lot of man-to-man coverage in the secondary. They put the guys out there on an island.
But the guy you're going at, Siobhan Wiggin, is probably one of the best cover corners for Seminole.
They split 2 receivers to the far side this time. Smith in the gun. Looks over to the sideline now, as a lot of these teams are doing, puts a man in motion.
He's going to run it.
Gives it to 25. He's tackled in the backfield. That was number
Jakari
Martin on the tackle. There's Shannon Hamilton on the carry for the Bobcats.
And they're going to lose a lot of yards.
Ball all the way back to the Dooley 49-yard line. So a loss of 5 on the play. It's 3rd and 15.
And this is a down that's been critical for these Indians this year. They're giving up the big yardage on pass plays. So I'm anxious to see what this Dooley County team can do with a 3rd and long situation.
Just keep him in front of you.
Oh, yeah.
Smith back in the gun. This time 4 receivers, 2 to each side. Smith being pressured.
He is.
He's going to heave it long. Got a man out there, and he's wide open. Caught. He fumbles the ball. It's into the end zone, and it's.
All the Indians had to do was.
They're calling it incomplete. They're calling the pass incomplete.
That is a break for Seminole because their player did not get on it. If Dooley falls on it and it's complete, it's a touchdown.
It would have been a touchdown if it had been completed pass and then fumbled.
Yes, because the Seminole players just stopped instead of picking it up.
Well, maybe they saw the referees calling it incomplete, as we didn't.
Yes, we did, but it was a big break for Seminole.
And the quarterback sure was elusive that time. He should have been sacked in the backfield.
Yes, it was a great move for him to step up in the pocket to elude pressure.
Threw a wobbling duck out there, but the receiver was wide open.
If the defensive back would have been in position, he could have intercepted that because it was low-line drive ball.
So Montravius Adams is also the punter for the Bobcats. There's a snap. There's a kick. And it's going to bounce at about the 20. And fielded at about the, where they're going to mark it at the 17-yard line, where the Indians will take over 1st and 10.
It took them a long time to get that off, didn't it?
It sure did.
I mean, if they put you in any kind of pressure, you may block that.
So the Indians caught a break and were able to hold Dooley County to 3 and out. Now we'll see what the Indians can do. I tell you what, especially at this level at high school, when you put 4 receivers out there, it's hard to cover.
Oh, man, at any level, really. Seminole's coming out with a new formation tonight.
Jakari Martin under center in a wing T. Put one of the wings in motion. Give it right up the middle and immediately tackled by number 32, Montravius Adams.
But he picks up about 4 yards, though.
He got to the, looks like he got to about the, where are they going to mark it, at about the 20? Yeah, this is a gain of 3. It's 2nd and 7. And that's Coach Ingram for you. Normally, the first play of the game, he's going to run it right up the middle.
Yes, and
he's going to see how you're going to play it.
Montravius Adams just took a lineman and just threw him to the side to make the tackle.
And big number 64, Jason Wiley next to him, is a big boy as well.
Oh, yes.
Give it over the right side, ball on the ground. Looks like Dooley County may have come up with it.
And that is what you can't have against a team like Dooley.
No, you cannot. You cannot turn the ball over, and that's exactly what happened.
I think it was an exchange, mix-up exchange between the tailback and the fullback and Jakari. Nevertheless, Dooley takes over in great field position.
At the Indian 23-yard line. So I think there was a mix-up on the play as far as what the quarterback and tailback thought was going on.
Yeah, they were. Now Dooley's having trouble. Don't know who to get in. They might get a delay of game if they're not careful here. They are flirting with a delay of game.
Quarterback under set of an I formation. Give it to the tailback. Nothing there.
Big Daquan Hamlet on the stop.
No gain on the play. It's 2nd and 10. So no gain on the play. They split Montravius Adams out as a tight end in this formation. Smith in the gun. Smith looking to pass.
He has
Got a man out there in the end zone, but it is a touchdown. They called it a touchdown. Said he got a foot in bounds. So Dooley County strikes first. Pass to Courtney Clark.
And it looked like he was out of bounds. And Dooley County strikes first.
So Dooley County on the board at the 9:08 mark of the first quarter. That's what happens when you have turnovers.
Yes.
There's snap, hold, kick. It's up.
Good.
And it is good. There'll be a short pause. We'll be back for the kickoff. Stay tuned. You're watching high school football, playoff style. Back here in Donalsonville, Dooley County with a quick strike touchdown after the Indian fumble. And Montravius Adams is also the kicker. And it looks like that ball is going to go out of bounds, and it does. That's obviously not his specialty.
He was doing great in warm-up.
Don't think he hit that one quite right. So the Indians should take over on the 35-yard line where they'll have 1st and 10.
Maybe they can get a better possession this time, hold on to the ball and kind of stay in this game because they're pretty much evenly matched.
Well, if they can't hold on to the ball, it's not going to make any difference.
Sure isn't.
And talking with Coach Ingram Monday, that's exactly what he told me the key to this game was going to be,
yes.
Turnovers.
The team with the least amount of turnovers is going to win this game.
Jakari Martin keeps it himself, going to gain a couple of yards, brings up 2nd and 8. Obviously, he made that read and thought he had an opening there and took it.
Yes. They're doing a pretty good job of blocking. It's just got to sustain it.
Well, they marked that ball at the 36 where it went out of bounds because it was in front of the 35. If it had been beyond the 35, they would put it at the 35. Yeah. So they marked it at the 36. So 2nd and 8 coming up for the Indians. Martin again up under center. Puts a wing in motion. Martin keeps it himself. Gets across the 40, looks like to about the 42-yard line.
Going to bring up probably third and about 4?
3rd and 4 coming up for the Indians.
And that Dooley sideline is starting to get packed with their fans. This is a great atmosphere for football.
See if Coach Ingram goes a little wide this time. So far, he's gone straight up the middle with every play so far.
Well,
and the Indians called a timeout. Coach Ingram obviously didn't like what he saw. And he's marching out there on the field. And normally when Coach Ingram does that, he's not a happy camper.
He is not a happy camper right now.
After the timeout, it's 3rd and 4 for the Indians. Martin stays under center with a single setback behind him. And he pitches it to Thomas Aiken. A big hole for Aiken. Jumps one man and gets to the 49-yard line. Would it be 1st and 10 Indians? There's a little wrinkle we hadn't seen out of the Indians so far this year.
Picked up a first down.
And Thomas Aiken is a freshman.
A big freshman.
He's not as big as some of these boys for Dooley County, but he's pretty good size. We don't have anybody on our team that big.
Nah, not even as big as 32. But the Indians see that they can play with them. So maybe this is going to turn out to be a great game.
Now the Indians go into an I formation this time. Jakari Martin keeps it himself.
He's driving forward.
He drives forward for about 2 yards.
Should have been a face mask.
And
inadvertent, but it was one.
Under the pile, big number 64, Jason Wiley makes the tackle along with a host of other Bobcats. Stay in the eye. This time he gives it to Hamlet.
Has a huge hole, maybe a first down.
It's going to be close to a first down. The flag comes in late.
Can it be face mask?
I don't know. I didn't see it if there was one.
I think it is. It's going to be against Dooley probably after the play.
It's close to a first down, maybe about the length of a football short.
Got a face mask on Dooley.
Looks like it's going to be a 5-yard variety. That'll be added on to the play, so it will be 1st and 10 Indians. Mark the ball at the 37-yard line where the Indians have 1st and 10. 6:32 to go in the first quarter.
And Seminole is in that I formation again.
Gives it to Hamlet. Hamlet over the left side. Helmet's flying off of everybody out there. And Hamlet gets to about the 32-yard line, and that player will have to come off for one play because his helmet came off. That's number 70, Alex Kuntz. That'll bring up 2nd and 5.
And the Indians have found something in the middle of this defense that they're working with.
Stay in the eye for the Indians.
Oh, the Indians jumped.
People moved everywhere. I think everybody but the center knew what the snap count was. So that'll cost the Indians 5 yards. Instead of 2nd and 5, it'll be 2nd and 10.
And Jakari is giving them an earful.
So back to the original line of scrimmage go the Indians, and it makes it a lot tougher.
They're going to be in that I formation.
Jakari keeps it
He keeps
himself.
it. He has
He's
a
got a
hole.
long way.
Jakari's off to the races.
Jakari down the stretch he goes. Touchdown Indians!
Jakari Martin.
The Indians are on the board.
What a great run.
Well, he saw the opening. What they did that time is they double teamed Montravius
And I tell you,
and ran it right around him.
and when you're in a one-on-one matchup with Jakari and Montravius, I would take Jakari, even though he's number one.
But did you see who was actually the one in pursuit on that play? Was Montravius.
He can move to be a big man.
Williams set for the extra point attempt. Snap, hold, kick, it's up. And I believe it is no good. Wide left flag comes in.
Roughing the kicker.
If it's roughing the kicker.
It is.
So the Indians may have another opportunity. And I believe Indians will try and re-kick it.
They may line up and go for two here. We're going to go for one.
Coach Ingram says, no, we're going to stay and go for one.
Which is the smart choice.
So hopefully the kicker is not too banged up where he can.
He seems to be okay. Matt is a pretty tough guy. He's a pretty big guy, too. Well, they're going to back it up some.
So the Williams will step it off and try it again. Snap, hold, kick, it's up.
Oh, boot to leather.
And they say no good. Wow.
Wow, it looked like it went straight through.
Holy cow. Well, it didn't, according to the referees.
He had enough foot.
So the score stays 7-6 Dooley County. That could be large as this game goes on.
That's 1 point.
Stay tuned. We'll come back for the kick. Back here in Donalsonville. And Charles, what were you saying there during the break?
If the Indians could fix their secondary woes, I think they can stay in this game with Dooley because they're pretty much shutting the run down. But
I didn't, and Dooley came out passing in this game, and they're predominantly a running team.
Yes.
They don't do a lot of passing, but, again, when teams watch film of Seminole County, they say, let's try it.
Well, he has over 1,200 yards passing. So they kind of balance it out. They'll wait for you to stack the line with 9, and they're going to go over the top.
Right.
But if they can get their secondary straight, I think they can compete with this team.
And here is some boot to leather. High end over end kick this time. Fielded at about the 7-yard line to the 10, 15, to the 20. Runs back the initial line of pursuit and finally tackled down, looks like at about the 32-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like Justin Buggs in on the tackle.
So let's see what the Bobcats can do on their on this possession. So they're marking the ball actually at the 33-yard line, where to be 1st and 10 for the Bobcats.
This is the deepest that Dooley has had to start back.
Split the receivers, and the quarterback goes under center with an I formation. He fakes it and gives it a little reverse, goes all around his right side.
Does a nifty move and
and gets tackled hard after a gain of 2 yards. It'll be 2nd and 8. Mark the ball at the 35. I tell you what, there's some scat backs over there. At number 4, I tell you what, he's the playmaker, Courtney Clark out of the backfield.
Well, I tell you, 22 is fleet-footed too. He came around that corner like he had a hole, but John didn't want to hear none of that.
For everybody listening, you're going to say who John is?
Big John Williams. Well, Big Jonathan Hudson, I'm sorry.
Williams originally was in the gun, now comes under center. Gives it to the tailback, and he goes right over the left side to the 40-yard line. So a gain of 5 yards on the play. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 3.
Can the Indians make a stand here and get this ball back? Or is Dooley going to get a first down and keep the drive alive?
Smith in the gun.
He had 3 wide.
Everybody stacked on the line of scrimmage for the Indians. Near side, pass broken up by number 8. That's Danny Rambo, better known as Cowboy. Got the hand in there, and glad he did, because if he'd have caught it, there was nobody behind him. It would have been another touchdown for Dooley County. So at the 4:06 mark of the first quarter, it looks like Dooley's going to go into the punt formation.
Roger, another step, and he'd have broke on that. He was clear sailing to the end zone.
Yeah, the quarterback waited too long that time to throw it. It was a late pass, and it allowed the defender to get back to him.
Yeah, I think Danny tried to take the safe route, but if he'd have went for it, he was gone.
So Adams back to kick. And the kick is away. It's a low. And Jakari picks it up at about the 30-yard line and gets to maybe the 31. So a 1-yard return for Jakari Martin, but at least the ball didn't keep bouncing down further into Indian territory.
And it's a good starting position for the Indians.
And actually going to mark the ball right on the 30-yard line where it's 1st and 10 Indians. I thought he got to the 31.
If you're the Indians, you want to maintain or sustain the drive like you had the last time. You don't want to go backwards here against this big team.
3:57 to go in the first quarter. And this is the kind of ball game, Charles, we thought we were going to have here.
Yes.
Indians stay in the I formation. Put a wing in motion. Martin changing the play. Puts it in the belly of the fullback, Hamlet.
Maybe 2 yards or maybe 1. I think it's going to be 2.
They are marking at the 32, so it's going to be 2nd and 8. And they're running right at the big old Montravius Adams. I mean, they're running right at him.
I reckon the intention is to wear him down because they're not going outside, period.
Well, they did the one time on the touchdown run, but that's the only time we've seen it.
Yeah.
You're exactly right, Charles.
I think he's just going to pound Dooley.
Gives it to Hamlet. No gain on the play. Flag comes in.
And that is a dangerous play because they almost fumbled that snap, the handoff. It's probably going to be against Dooley here, Roger.
Well, it's up to the white hat.
Well,
holding against the Indians.
that is huge.
So Dooley's going to decide if they're going to take the penalty or if they're going to decline it. So instead of it was a 2nd and 8 play, it's now going to be 2nd and 18.
Huge.
Take the ball back to the 22-yard line. Indians have to get to the 40, so it's 2nd and 18.
And field position is key here because you don't want to keep going backwards.
Indians stay in the eye.
Martin
keeps it himself, looking for some running room. And the ball is taken away from him, and they're marking him down. They're marking him down, and I think it's a bad call.
And that is a bad call.
He was knocked down, and Montravius Adams just took the ball away from him.
And was headed to the end zone.
And he was gone. So a gain of 8 on the play to bring up 3rd and 10 for the Indians. But a quick whistle out of the referee called him down.
I tell you, he saved it then because Montrevious took it from Jakari and he was gone.
So our first disagreement with the striped shirt guys this game.
He is a strong kid.
He's a man amongst boys out there.
Yes.
Martin up under center, almost fell down, looking to pass. Got a man wide open. That's Hamlet. And Hamlet will have a first down to about the 42-yard line. So a gain of 12 on the play, and the Indians move the chains and keep the drive alive.
And they caught Dooley County napping then. A great call and a great situation.
They're marking the ball, at the 41-yard line, so a gain of 11. I tell you, sometimes I just don't agree with the progress that these referees mark the ball.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, this drive is kept alive by an inadvertent whistle, but I think the Indians will take it.
Obviously, if you're on the Dooley side, you're pretty upset right now.
Yes.
But since they couldn't see it from as far away as they were, he was right in front of us. Now they need to go back to the eye. Gives it to Hamlet. Hamlet just keeps those legs going. Gets to about the 47-yard line.
And Rob, it's kind of looking like the Dooley players are kind of tiring.
So a gain of 6 on the play, 2nd and 4.
Seminole's just running straight up at Montrevious Adams. I mean, right at him. Like they don't fear him at all.
Last year, the Indians went to the Elite Eight and lost in the Elite Eight round to Eagles Landing up in there in the Atlanta area. So if the Indians win, this will be the first time in school history they go to the Final Four.
Yes.
Pitch it this time.
Thomas Aiken has
Thomas Aiken. Thomas breaks another tackle. There goes the freshman. Thomas Aiken is gone. Down the stretch he goes. Touchdown Indians. Thomas Aikens, the freshman beast for the Indians.
He just ran through tackles and around defenders.
Takes it 53 yards.
Wow. He ran through defenders, and when he got in the open, he just turned it on. You're not going to catch him.
So it looks like the Indians are going to line up to go for 2 points to try to get this to a 14-7 game. And Coach Ingram was setting that up all game long, going up the middle, and then pitched it, and away Thomas Aiken went. Martin puts a man in motion. Martin keeps it himself, and he is in for the 2-point conversion. So the score, 14-7 at the 104 mark of the first quarter, and the Indian fans are on their feet here in Donalsonville.
And this stadium is rocking.
We'll have a short pause, and we'll come back for the kickoff. Back here in Donalsonville, the Indians with a couple of big plays, and they lead this game 14-7. Here is some boot to leather. Nice high end-over-end kick. Fielded at about the 6-yard line. Spin move to the 10, 15.
Oh!
And tackled down hard.
Big hit by Robert Spates.
So the Bobcats will take over 1st and 10 from their own 16-yard line. 57 seconds left in the first quarter.
And Dooley is backed up farther. That this is a position that they hadn't started in all night.
No, it's definitely their worst field position of the night.
And if you're the Indians, they're going to come out slinging because they're down.
Montravius Adams not even in the game right now.
Well, I think he needs a breather. Well, they're going to try to run it, and no.
Nothing going there. No gain on the play.
Jonathan
Hudson with a big tackle for the Indians. And the crowd is still on their feet here in Donalsonville. Both sides. I mean, both sides. Nobody is sitting down at this game. 2nd and 11 coming up. A loss of a yard on the play. Four wide receivers. Smith in the gun. Smith looking, scrambling for his life, throws over the man, and the receiver fell down, and the defender fell down. That was Cowboy, better known as Danny Rambo.
He could have had a touchdown.
I'm sorry, Charles.
I don't think the quarterback seen him.
No, I don't think he did either. 8 seconds left in the first quarter, and it's 3rd and 11 for the Bobcats. This very well could be the last play of the third quarter. Adams stays in the gun. 3 receivers to the near, 1 to the far, trying to get isolation over there on the far side.
The Indians
Smith's looking at the screen pass, and it's almost intercepted.
Brendan Kimmel had a touchdown. I'm sorry, Rob.
So the screen pass didn't work. They set it up beautifully, though. So still 3 seconds left in the first quarter, so still enough time to get this punt away for the Bobcats.
Brendan Kimmel could have walked in the end zone. And the Indians can have great field position out of this, Roger.
Back deep is Jakari Martin for the Indians.
And he is trying to get this crowd pumped up.
Adams, the punter. There's a snap. There's a kick. High end over end kick, and it's going to take a nice Bobcat bounce and roll dead at the 42-yard line. The Indians will take over. 1st and 10 at the 42, and that's the end of the first period.
Excellent field position.
We'll be right back.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot at this.
Dooley with a 23-yard pass, and the Indians with a couple of long runs of 37 and 53 yards respectively. Martin gives it to Hamlet, and Daquan Hamlet runs over people to the 45-yard line.
Big game for Daquan Hamlet.
So a gain of 13 on the play, and it's 1st and 10 Indians.
And they are running right at Montravius Adams. Well, look.
You know, the Indians may be a little undersized in this game, Charles, but they are quick.
Speed and heart kills.
Give it to Hamlet again. Nothing going there. Maybe a gain of a yard on the play. That time the Bobcats were all over it again. Big number 64, Jason Wiley was all over that play. And I tell you what, when you run into him,
he is a man.
That is like a brick wall. You can say all you want about Montravius Adams, but number 64, I'll guarantee he weighs all of 350.
And 62 is not behind far. They have some beef in there to try to stop this run up the middle, but the Indians are getting a nice drive on certain plays.
Indians stay in the I formation. Martin takes it out of the belly of the quarterback, runs it himself.
Nice game.
And gets to about the 39-yard line. So a gain of 5 yards on the play. Should bring up 3rd and 4. Tackled down there by number 62, Larry Glover.
Dooley is so fearful of that option of him pitching. They just made sure that they committed to him to wrap him up.
Well, they marked the ball at the 38-yard line. I thought it was the 39, so to bring up 3rd and 3.
Probably going to be 2-down territory here.
Oh, for the Indians?
Yes.
Most likely.
He's going to change the play.
Shikari changing the play. Martin keeps it himself. He gets to the 35-yard line. It'll be very close. He had to cross it. He did. That'll be a first down for the Indians.
Had Jakari pitched that, Thomas was just green pastures.
And
right
I think he's telling him that too.
Green pastures right in front of him. Nevertheless, first down for the Indians.
10:13 to go in the second quarter. Martin pitches it to Thomas Aiken. Thomas runs over. He hopped over a guy.
That should be a late
and then
hit.
a late
That
hit
is
out of
one.
bounds. That'll be 15 more.
And Dooley is unraveling on this drive with that. That was unnecessary. In a big game like this, you don't want to do nothing to get a team another advantage.
It was a gain of 8 yards on the play. And Thomas, he just jumps over a player.
But it was unnecessary what he did.
They'll go half the distance to the goal line because it's inside the 30-yard line. So the ball will be placed all the way down to the 14-yard line where the Indians will have 1st and 10 at the 9:59 mark of the second quarter.
And the Indians are rushing to the line of scrimmage.
Oh, they're ready. Indians stay in the eye.
Hand it off to Juwan.
Hamlet.
And he's
Hamlet is in the end zone. Touchdown, Indians. So a 14-yard touchdown run for Daquan Hamlet. And the Indians will line up for the extra point if Williams can get his kicking shoe on in time. They've marked the ball for play. So he has 25 seconds, about 20 seconds to go to get out there and kick this thing.
He is hustling.
Probably down to about 10 seconds now.
Yeah, it's going to be close.
Wiggins to hold. There's a snap, hold to kick, it's up.
And it's going to be good.
And it's good. And the Indians take a 21-7 lead at the 9:52 mark of the second quarter. And was there a flag on the play? Extra point, they say, is good. Roughing the kicker will be assessed on the kickoff.
These are the things that kill. Well, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Charles. I mean, these are things Dooley County is actually, shot themselves in the foot a couple of times with some things, some incomplete passes, and with receivers that were open. They did hit, the one touchdown pass and should have had another one.
Yes.
But they keep shooting themselves in the foot.
With these penalties, this game is going to come down to turnovers and penalties. And right now, Dooley is winning the penalty game.
So the Indians will kick off from the 45-yard line instead of the 40 as a result of the roughing the kicker penalty. And that's twice that's happened for the Indians. For Dooley County.
I tell you, if you're the Indians, you want to keep your foot on the gas and keep trying to put points on this big team. And if you're Dooley, you got to cut out on the little mental mistakes that are killing you to stay in this game.
If you're Dooley, you're going to start airing this thing out now.
Oh, you're going to try to have to.
Williams has it teed up. And here is boot to leather. That's high end over end kick, fielded at about the 6-yard line. 34 has it.
And he has a corner. Oh, well.
He had the corner, but he cut it up the middle and maybe got to the 14-yard line. That was Mark Lloyd on the return.
And that hole closed up real fast.
And all year long for the Indians, the punt returns and kickoff returns has been their Achilles heel.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And this right here, if they can stop that, this secondary continues to – they played pretty good on the last 2 series. So maybe they worked on some things during the timeout.
So Dooley 1st and 10 from their own 14-yard line. 1 receiver to the far, 2 to the near side. I formation behind Smith. Gives it to the tailback.
No hole.
And he's met at the line of scrimmage, leans forward.
And that's
leans forward to about the 16-yard line. So a gain of 2 on the play, brings up 2nd and 8.
Big Alex Coons on the stop.
The Indians came out of there with the ball, but the referee said it was down. This time, the quarterback's going to be in the gun with split tailbacks on either side of him.
He's dropped back to pass.
Looking to pass, throws over the middle, complete for a first down to about the 25, 26-yard line.
That's a good throw and good coverage.
It was.
There's nothing you can do about that.
Gain of 10 yards on the slant play. Justin Elijah on the tackle for the Indians. But it's 1st and 10 Bobcats. And again, Montravius Williams is not in the game on offense.
I think they're going to give him a breather because they're probably going to need him a lot on defense.
Quarterback in the gun. Low snap, ball on the ground. But somebody else picked it up over there for the Bobcats. And it's going to gain.
Not a face mask.
Flags are down on the far side. It's a gain of 2 yards on the play, but let's see what the flag is.
That's going to be a huge break if it's against Seminole for Dooley because they actually fumbled the ball.
It's a face mask against the Indians, a 5-yard variety.
So it was inadvertent.
So an inadvertent face mask penalty.
Which is a big break for Dooley because they actually fumbled the ball and had a man pick it up.
Yeah, that was fortunate. Down remains 1st down. It's 1st and 4. Smith looking to pass, throwing it deep. Got a man out there.
And he just jumped up and
caught.
Took it.
He just took it away from Wiggins.
And if that's the case of Wiggins being a little too short.
They're going to mark the ball at the 25, so another big play for the Bobcats.
Just a case of Wiggins being too short or jumping too soon because he was in perfect position.
I tell you what, Smith throws it up for grabs, though.
Oh, yes.
8:09 to go in the 2nd quarter.
Wiggins is going to get one of those before it's over.
Four wide receivers this time for the Bobcats. Smith in the gun. He's changing the play.
He's flirting with a delay of game.
Put a man in motion.
And their running back jumped.
Yes, he did. Referee saw it. Pass is complete, but it's not going to matter. Pass is complete to about the 9-yard line.
Legal procedure.
But a legal procedure against the Bobcats is going to make it 1st and 15. So motion penalty against the Bobcats. So mark the ball back to the 30, where it's 1st and 15. 7:39 to go, second quarter.
And I tell you, Seminole's going to have to find a way to stop that slant because he caught that and he was probably at the 3 or 4 yard line if the penalty wouldn't have been called.
Nobody in the middle of the field for the Indians on defense as far as a safety. Smith looking to throw. Slings it to the end zone. Has a man out there. Broken up by number 14, Justin Elijah. Almost intercepted it.
I think Justin kind of got caught out of position because he was looking to bat it and then realized at the end he could intercept that.
So 2nd and 15 coming up for the Bobcats. Well, I tell you what, Smith puts the ball on the money, doesn't
man.
he?
He slings it, but he puts it there. And they're going to have to get some kind of pressure on him.
But if you look at when he throws, he takes a long time to wind up and throw the ball. He's got a slow delivery, but gets it out there.
Mm-hmm. But it's an accurate throw, even though he's slinging it. And he's a tall, lanky kid.
He is a big kid. There's a lot of big kids on this Dooley County team.
Oh, yeah.
Dooley County's always been known having great athletes on their football team.
And they're going to probably try to pound this ball down Seminole now.
I formation behind Smith. Give it to the tailback.
And maybe 2.
And he's going to get about 4 yards on the play. It's going to bring up 3rd and 11.
And I think Dooley may be in 4-down territory, trailing 2 scores.
Clock under 7 minutes now in the second quarter. So big 3rd down coming up here for the Bobcats.
And big Montravius Adams is at tight end.
Yeah, Montravius is in at tight end now. Smith looking, loses one rush. He's under pressure. And it goes through the hands of the receiver, number 8, Tyrone Anderson. Went right through his hands.
And I tell you, Cowboy, if he would just turn around, he may have a break on that ball.
The Indians caught another break.
A huge break. And I think Dooley's probably going to line up and go for it here. It's too far out of field goal range and too close to punt.
Adams goes out of the game for the Bobcats.
Yeah, they're probably going to spread it here.
So it's 4th and 11 for the Bobcats.
This could be a huge stop for the Indians, and it could be a huge momentum drive for Dooley.
4 receivers. Smith looks over the defense. Low snap. Throws it incomplete right through the hands of the receiver again. Pass intended for number 11, Travasky Lundy.
And I tell you, he was going to be short with that catch, Robert, so I don't know if unless he outruns him.
Yeah, I mean, he could have had a good catch and run, but doesn't matter. The Indians will take over on downs.
And that's a big break for the Indians.
Place the ball at their own 27-yard line. Clock at 6:19. So the Indians up 21-7, Charles. They're probably going to try and just run this thing and chew some clock.
I tell you, if you're Coach Ingram, you want to put some more points on this board with the way they sling the ball.
Martin takes a snap, gives it to Aiken. Aiken spins out of one tackle and gets to about the 34-yard line. I think they're going to mark it at the 33.
The ball came loose, but I'm hoping he's down. I think he is down.
They're marking it down. So mark the ball at the 33-yard line. It's going to be 2nd and 4. Martin gives it to Aiken again, trying to get the corner.
I think Dooley's not having it this time.
Nope, they got the edge that time. maybe a gain of a yard on the play. It's going to bring up 3rd and 3. I think it's closer to 3rd and 4 than 3rd and 3. This is a huge play for the Bobcat defense, Charles.
Yes, well, you will want to stop him here. You get excellent field position.
Give it to Hamlet, and Hamlet is going to be about a yard short of a first down right up the middle.
What do you do here if you're Seminole? I think he's going to go for it.
I think if you're Seminole, you punt the ball away.
I don't think he's going to punt this, Roger. I really don't. With 1 yard, I think he's going to.
They're going to measure. I think he's well short, but they're going to measure it.
That's just for the sake to see how far you got to go to get the first down.
I'm going to say he's a good half yard to a yard short. I could be wrong.
I'm telling you, Roger.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong here. It could be closer.
With this.
Could be closer than I think.
With all indications with his lineup out here, he's going to go for this.
Yeah, but they keep the same lineup in when they punt anyway, because Jakari Martin's the punter, who is the quarterback. And
Roger, you may be looking at a first down here. It's going to be maybe an inch.
It's going to be about 2 inches short.
And they're going for it.
Big play. If the Indians go for it and don't make it, Charles, you'll get all the momentum back to the Bobcats again.
Sure do.
And they've proven they can move the ball.
Oh, yes.
When they execute. 4:59 to go in the second quarter.
Well, you may want to give them a couple of hard counts here and see if they jump. This is a big stop for Dooley County if they can get this.
Indians lining up like they're going to go for it.
Let's see if they try to draw them offside. Well, Dooley is kind of back far, so they don't plan on jumping. Which Martin can just sneak it right here and get the first down.
That's what he does, and it looks like Martin has enough for the first down.
Dooley was back so far off, afraid of jumping
They
early.
were. You're exactly right, Charles. You hit the nail right on the head, man. I mean, you think they would have been lined up right up top of the ball.
With the size they have.
It is a first down, Indians. Mark the ball at the 38-yard line, 1st and 10. That's that Riverboat Gambler and Coach Ingram.
Yes, if you get it, it's fine. If you don't, you probably walk them in the end zone.
And Coach Ingram might be walking home.
Yes. Let's see if the Indians can get some more points here before the half.
I formation, give it to Akins.
And one is right there to meet him. That's Jalen Daniels.
Jalen stood him up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. Are they saying he got a yard maybe?
If it is,
they're giving him a yard on the play. He's going to bring up 2nd and 9.
Generous spot.
All right, well, Coach Ingram's worked the middle.
Yeah,
now he's working the edges.
And tearing up this clock.
Want to see if he's going to work it back up the middle again.
Yes. Steady eating at this clock. Just churn it away.
Because this game is far from over, even though it's 21-7. 4 minutes to go in the second quarter.
That's why you want to add more points, because Dooley can strike at any moment.
Pass over the middle. Caught. Oh, they're saying incomplete.
If he could have stood up with it, he was wide open. That's a great call.
That little slip pass, as Coach Ingram calls it, where he just slips the tight end straight up the field.
If he could have stood up with it, he was daylight for days.
But Jakari was off target on the play, so it's 3rd and 9. Clock stops at 3:45. Pitch it to Akins, trying to get the corner. Nothing going there. Again, number 6 over there. That's Tay Daniels. And the Bobcats are going to stop the clock because they're thinking that the Indians are going to punt it away.
If you're the Indians, you want to punt it away.
No gain on the play. It's 4th and 9.
So a great stand by Dooley on that play.
Let's see. Wilcox Woods up 21. Let's see. Monroe area is up 24-0 over South Effingham. ECI 14-10 over Tryon at the half. Lincoln 14, Wilkinson 14 at the half.
Got to be careful here, Roger, because Dooley is known for blocking kicks.
Dooley's down 20.
Yeah, Charles, you hit the nail on it. They had Dooley will rush that kicker, and the Indians, you know, they don't set the punter back very far, almost like a rugby-style type of a kick does Jakari Martin.
Yes, Dooley blocked one last week and scored against Turner, so you got to be very careful here. And Montravius Adams is coming.
Low snap. Gets the kick off, goes way off the side of his foot, goes straight up in the air basically. And not a very good punt at all. It's going to be marked dead at the 44 or the 45-yard line. And so the Bobcats will have great field position.
And you want to make Dooley work every minute of this clock you can without scoring.
It was a low snap, and Martin thought he had to be rushed, and he rushed the kick, and that's exactly what happened. He hit it right off the side of his foot.
Well,
he did the same thing last week against Commerce.
He saw big Montravius Adams pressure in that middle, so he was trying to get it away from him, running to the side. It just wasn't a good kick.
So the Bobcats take over at the 3:29 mark of the second quarter.
They're going to probably come out in a, 4 wide receiver set, so.
Coming with 3 to the far, 1 to the near.
No secret what they're going to do.
Smith takes the snap. And nothing going, a loss of a yard on the play, maybe loss of 2 yards on the play. Indians' defensive line was in the backfield that time, and it is a loss of 2. Going to bring up 2nd and 12.
Big Darius Burr. I think they were waiting on that play.
Well, this is a different team when Montravius Adams is not in there on offense.
Yes, it is.
Quarterback in the gun. Looking to pass. He just throws it as far as he can throw it.
Man. What a catch!
What a catch down there at the 25-yard line.
Chris Lundy.
Lundy, what a catch. Just goes up and takes it out of the air. And a big gain for the Bobcats down to the 25. There's still life in them.
That was a beautiful catch. As beautiful catches you're going to see in high school. He laid flat out for that.
That's laying it on the line, Charles.
Oh, yes.
Another 4 wide receiver set. This time the receivers are stacked to the near side. Smith looking near side. Throws a little, broke 1 tackle and brought down at about the 23-yard line. So a gain of 2 yards on the play. It's going to bring up 2nd and 8.
And the clock is steady running.
Bobcats still have 2 timeouts left.
It was almost flirted with a late hit there. Got to be careful. You're an Indian.
Smith back to pass. Rolling, throws it into the end zone. Got a man out there, and it's over everybody's head. I don't think he knew it was going to come. He just kind of stopped running his pattern.
Yeah, he just threw it. And Roger, I'm telling you.
If the receiver had kept his stride, he would have caught the ball. No problem, wide open.
I reckon he guessed it was going to another receiver. And you got to love the protection that they are giving him. Look like Dooley is starting to cramp up.
3rd and 8 coming up. Yeah, Dooley is sucking wind out there a little bit on their line. 2:09 to go second quarter. Dooley probably in 4-down territory here.
Yes, they are. I think 62 for Dooley is shaking up bad. He can barely stand.
Smith walks over towards the sideline trying to get the call. Now he barks it out. Smith dropping back. Throws it complete at the 16. Puts a move on one. Puts a move on another.
And he is.
Is he in? They're saying he's down at the 1-yard line, so a big gain for the Bobcats. It'll be 1st and goal at 1:59.
And he put about 2 or 3 moves on some Indians.
So Dooley with 1st and goal at the inside the 1-yard line. I mean, it's right nosing up against the goal line.
Yes. And this is probably where you're going to see big Montravius Adams line up in the backfield.
Nope,
That's
yes,
exactly
he is.
what they're
That's
gonna
exactly where he is. He's in the backfield.
Oh, Lord. He's ready to sneak this. Yes.
Smith goes right over the middle, over top the center, and
He didn't
he's
get
in
it.
for the touchdown.
He didn't.
So the Dooley's going to line up for the extra point.
Not going to go much longer.
Dooley County's running the player in. Farius Royal, the kicker. Snap, hold, kick, it's up. And it is good.
So we got a ball game here.
We do have a ball game. It's 21-14. Seminole County still leads, but there's a $1:37 left in the second quarter. And the Indians will get the ball and see if they can do something with the time that's left on the clock.
UCLA 7, Stanford nothing. The Cardinals. Jim Mora Jr. got run out of Atlanta. Imagine that. He did be run out of Atlanta. Playoffs? Oh, that was Dan.
Dooley County, Montravius Adams is set to kick.
Oh, early has come back behind their ginormous quarterback. That helps my bracket. Because I had them beat the best team when I combined leaving Venice.
And Montravius Adams is set to kick off. The Indians are set to receive. He's going to kick a deep kick that's going to go out of the back of the end zone. So the Indians are going to take over at the 20-yard line with 1:37 to go in the second quarter. Hey, what is the early grade Atlanta score? What's the early grade Atlanta score?
16-10 early. And I'll tell you what, the big man got a big.
And Seminole is going to come out with 1:37 to go in the half. And let's see what they do here on first down and 10 at the 20-yard line. All right, Seminole's going to line up in the I, and Dooley is putting everyone in the box. Seminole going to fake it up the middle. He's going to keep it, and he's going to maybe lose a yard on the play. Well, he lost 2 on that play. So Jakari Martin on the carry with 1:23 to go in the half. If you're the Indians, you do not want to give up any more points in this half. You can just get out of here and get into halftime. Seminole is taking their time coming to the line of scrimmage. Martin is getting them down. We're going to line up in an I tight formation. He's going to take the handoff. Give it to Thomas Aiken. Thomas Aiken has a hole, and he maybe picks up 9 or 10. That's a first down. He picks up maybe 12. And the Indians are in a hurry-up mode. First down, the clock hasn't started. They're setting the chains. The Indians are back on the ball. Carter Martin on the center. He's lined up in an I. He's going to give it to Akins on a toss sweep. Akins has a hole. Akins is running. He's at the 50-yard line. Another first down with 39 seconds to go. And the Indians are in hurry-up mode. And they'll find something over there on that left side. Jakari is going to take the snap. Fakes it up the middle. And he fumbled. And looked like Dooley has it. With 28 seconds, looked like Dooley County is going to take this ball. It's just a bad exchange between Martin and the fullback. And you're going to give Dooley life with 28 seconds And that is something you did not want to do with 28 seconds. Put this ball back in Dooley's hand with a chance to sling it in this end zone to maybe possibly tie this game up before halftime. Dooley County is lined up on the ball. They're going to be in a 4 wide receiver set. A.J. Smith back deep. He's going to take the snap. He's dropping back, looking. He has running room. He has a huge hole. And he's going to step out of bounds at maybe the 31-yard line, 29-yard line with 20 seconds. And that was a huge scramble he just floated down the right side, and there was no defender there within 10 yards. So the Indians, you want to bow your neck here, not give up any points before halftime. They're going to go on a 4 wide receiver set. He's back in the shotgun. He's surveying the field. And Smith is going to take the snap. Seminole faking blitz. They're going to rush blitz. He drops back, heaves it. He overthrew him, everyone. With 14 seconds to go, it's going to be 2nd and 10. And he just slung it, and he overthrew his receiver and our DB. And Seminole's DB. 14 seconds, and they're going to be probably at the 28-yard line. And they are going toward the end zone. Smith is going to come out. 4 wide receiver set. He's flanked back in the backfield by Shannon Hamilton. And he's surveying the field. He's going to take the snap. He's looking. He's under pressure. He throws. He has a man wide open. And it's touchdown, Dooley County. And just like that, they're back in this game. What a throw and catch. A.J. Smith to Mr. Chris Lundy. Wide open. And Dooley County is down 21-20. What a throw and catch. And they're going to line up for the ever-important extra point. And Dooley County is going to take a timeout. And we'll take one, too. And back here at Indian Field, Dooley County is lining up for the extra point to tie this thing up. It's 21-20 with 6 seconds. He's going to fake it. And nothing is doing. So Seminole is up 21-20, and I have no idea why he faked that instead of going for the extra point. But nevertheless, I'm sure the Indians will take it. It's 21-20. Dooley County set to kick off. Montravius Adams is set to kick off to the Indians. He lays the ball on the ground, so he's not going to kick this very far. And Brandon Kimball dives on it. The Indians just cover it up.
The Swing Medallions are going to make another resounding trip to the Hawkinsville Opera House Friday night.
4 seconds left in the half. Seminole got first and 10 at the 24-yard line with 4 seconds before the half, and it's safe to say they're probably just going to take a knee here.
Get to the dressing room, and you know, if you're Dooley right now, you've got to feel really good about that.
Jakari Martin up on the center. He's going to take the snap and just down, takes a knee, and that's going to take us into halftime. We're going to get it down to Roger.
Down here with Coach Ingram. Coach, it's a Battle Royale shootout here at Seminole Stadium tonight.
Yeah, you know, we just miscommunicating out on the football field defensively. You know, trying to get a two deep safety back there. When we had one time, the guys didn't know it. They didn't play it up front. Gave it second third. We didn't get into it. And then we got one of the young cornerbacks looking back over his dang shoulder instead of playing as receiver, you know.
Well, the 2 turnovers hurt you as well. If it wasn't for that, it'd probably be at least a 21-14 game.
We were just running out the clock right there.
Yeah, I know it. Well, what do you tell them at halftime?
Start over.
There you go. That's Coach Ingram. Stay tuned, everybody, for the halftime shows of both schools.
for the Dooley County Bobcat Band. They did a great job, didn't they? Let them hear you, folks. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Superintendent Monroe Potter and Principal Bridget Register, we would like to welcome you to tonight's halftime presentation of the Seminole County High School Green Machine Marching Band. Under the direction of Head Drum Major Sammy Alday and Assistant Drum Major Marcus Keys. Tonight, the band will be performing a special postseason show for our loyal Indian fans here tonight. Our first selection has the distinction of being the most watched music video in YouTube history. All the way from South Korean music scene to Donalsonville, Georgia, here comes Gangnam Style. As the holiday season is fast approaching, the Green Machine would like to help get Donalsonville into the festive spirit. The classic Joy to the World, written by G.F. Hondo almost 300 years ago, gets a modern treatment by the Green Machine. spirit songs, which is also quickly becoming a favorite with the team and the fans. Composed especially for the school by band director Dallas Burke, the Green Machine will now play Indian Territory. Ladies and gentlemen, your Green Machine. Give it up for them one more time.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot at this.
Back here at Seminole Stadium, Roger Cunningham, Charles Scott along with you here where the score is the Indians 21, the Dooley County Bobcats 20. It's the GHSA High School Football Playoffs, Class A, and we got a barn buster going here, Charles.
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you, Seminole made a couple of errors right there and let Dooley walk back in this game. But
well, it was 21-7, and Seminole County tried a little pop pass over the middle. It was not a good pass. If it had been completed, it probably would have been for a touchdown. You're looking at 28-7.
Oh, yes.
And Dooley might have been out of the ball game.
Yes, but now we have ourselves a ball game. Probably going to be a great game to the end.
Well, the scoring so far in the game in the first quarter, Dooley got on the board first at the 9:08 mark, a 23-yard pass from quarterback A.J. Smith to Courtney Clark. Extra point was good. It was 7-0. Then at Seminole County got on the board at the 5:45 mark of the first quarter, 37-yard touchdown run by Jakari Martin. Extra point was no good. Dooley was still up 7-6. Then at the 104 mark of the first quarter, a 53-yard run by Thomas Aiken, the freshman, and then a 2-point conversion made the score 14-7 Indians. In the second quarter, Seminole scored at the 9:52 mark with a 16-yard run by Daquan Hamlet, and the extra point was good, made it 21-7 Seminole. And then at the 137 mark of the second quarter, a 1-yard touchdown run by the quarterback Smith. The extra point was good, made it 21-14 Seminole. Then Indians got the ball back and were basically just going to run it out and ran a couple plays, got a couple of first downs, and then fumbled the ball. And Dooley County had enough time on the clock, and with 8 seconds left in the half, 31-yard touchdown pass to number 12, Chris Lundy, and the extra point was no good, and the score remained 21-20, Seminole County. And but the big key in this game right now has been the 2 turnovers, especially the second turnover really hurt the Indians.
Yes.
So the Indians will get the ball first to start the second half.
And if you're the Indians, you want to try to get some separation here because you pretty much had the game in your hand and let them back in it. So.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Seminole County had the game in hand, as you said, Charles, and let Dooley right back into things. They're having a hard time covering these receivers.
Yes.
And what the problem is the defenders are looking back at the quarterback instead of staying on their man, and they get separation. Quarterback slings it up, and he's going to be on target.
Yes, and the way our Seminole Achilles heel is with this secondary is not as very good. You're going to have to get some kind of pressure on this quarterback, and they're protecting him very well. So let's see if the Indians can do something with this ball the second half and get some separation back here. And let's see if Dooley can put a stop to try to get some more momentum going.
Yeah, if Dooley stops the Indians here, I mean, all the momentum's on their side right now. Montravius Adam has it tees up, and there's some boot to leather. It's a little end-over-end kick fielded at about the 6-yard line.
Alex
Fudge with it, and Fudge gets to right at the 20-yard line where the Indians will have it 1st and 10.
This is where you're going to find out who made their halftime adjustments in this quarter.
Well, there wasn't a whole lot of – I went into the locker room, Seminole County. There wasn't a whole lot of drawing going on the board, but there was a lot of talking going on.
I'm sure it was very verbal in there. And maybe not the verbal that we can say over there.
No. I promise you it can't be said on the air.
Yeah.
Martin comes out, stay in the I formation.
He's going to hand it to Akins. Akins has a hole. He's got the corner. And Akins is going to turn it on and maybe at the 48-yard line or 50-yard line.
I say he stepped out at the 45-yard line of the Indians.
Big run by Thomas Aiken, the freshman.
But a 25-yard run by Thomas Aiken gets the Indians out into really good field position. And again, for folks, if you may have just tuned in, Thomas Aiken is a freshman.
Yes, he is. A sensational freshman. And something on that left side, Dooley's trying to put Adams over there now, but Seminole is attacking that left side of their defensive line.
So the Indians line up again, 1st and 10.
Going to hand it off to Akins again.
Akins
has a hole.
Akins, just tripped
up by Chris Lundy, a touchdown saving tackle. He was off to the races.
A 10-yard gain. They say it's enough for a 1st down.
And he's wearing that left side of Dooley County's defense out.
And you'd say, well, why in the world would you run it over there when Montravius Adams is?
Well, I'll tell you, they're putting a nice blocking scheme on Montravius.
Jakari up under center. I formation behind him. Looking to
pass
pass, got him wide open. It's caught.
Jalen Pearson.
Pearson down to the 26-yard line, and that's what they tried to complete in the first half to number 6, Jonathan Hudson, and the pass was low. This time it worked, and the Indians with another big gainer down to the 26-yard line.
And that play is wide open all night for the Indians.
11:20 to go, third quarter. I formation still behind Jakari.
Big Hamlet.
Gives it to Hamlet. Hamlin rumbling, stumbling, bumbling.
He's dragging defenders. And Montavious Adams is kind of shaking up.
He gets to about the 18-yard line. Gain of 8 on the play. It's 2nd and 2.
And Seminole is just taking it right at the heart of this defense of Dooley County. Montravius is kind of shaking up. I don't know. It appears to be nothing serious, but he's kind of shaking up.
Indians with a no-huddle offense this time.
They're going to run
Gives
it
it
back
to
at him.
Hamlet, and they run right at Montravious Adams, and it's enough for a first down. Looks like it to the 14-yard line.
And the Indians are putting together a nice-looking drive here.
Well, that's what they needed to do to start
yes.
this thing. You know, I gained access to the Indian locker room at halftime, and Coach Ingram's words were, they can't stop us on offense.
Oh, yes.
If we execute properly, they cannot stop us.
Yeah, the Indians they're firing off the ball pretty good.
He told him, he said, don't even look at number 32, you know.
And that is a smart thing to do.
Martin keeps it himself.
He has
goes
the hole.
over the middle.
He's close to the end.
So Martin looks like about a gain of 9. Oh, and a chop block is called against the Indians. Boy, that'll stall a drive out in a hurry. And that sure did quiet the crowd down. I mean, it is absolutely silent now.
Maybe that's why Montravius was limping.
So that's going to take it all the way back to the 20-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 16. Clock running at 10 minutes to go, third quarter. Indians stay in the eye. Give it to Hamlet. He's going over the middle. Big gain down to about the 5-yard line.
It's almost a first down, isn't it?
Almost a first down. It gets down to the 4-yard line. They are stopping the clock. It looks like it is a first down Indians. They had 1st and 16 and got 17 yards on the play. Just a simple handoff up the middle of the fullback.
It's a nice run by Hamlet to read and run.
So it's 1st and goal, Indians at the 4-yard line. And I tell you what, Charles, it was like almost 15 yards before they even made contact with him.
Me and you could have ran through that hole.
I don't know about that. Give it to Hamlet again. He's dragging players into the end zone. Touchdown, Hamlet. And Hamlet is just taking over.
He is a big back.
So the Indians going to line up for this extra point attempt. Williams trying to get the kicking shoe on. And I think this time it's probably going to be no, they just marked the ball for play just now, so he's got some time. You get 25 seconds from when the referee blows the ball for play.
He is hustling.
Indians trying to take an 8-point lead. Right now it's 27-20. Snap, hold, kick, it's up. And it's good. And the Indians lead at 28-20. Now, Charles, that's exactly, if you're an Indian fan, what you wanted to see happen. The coach said at halftime, they can't stop us when we run it right. And if you're Dooley County, what do you do now?
Well, you're going to come out and probably keep slinging it because Seminole can't stop your pass and you can't stop their run. So it's going to probably come down to turnovers.
If the Indians don't turn it over like they did in the first half, it could be trouble for the Bobcats.
Well, I think if the Indians could bow their neck in some kind of way, get a stop as they did in the first half a couple of times,
right,
they could put this game back out of reach.
Well, until the 137 mark of the second quarter, the Indians were pretty well stopping them.
It was their game and they gave it to Dooley to let them back in it.
Yes, they
so
did.
Now you got to go back and establish what you did and take it back. And that's exactly what they did coming out of halftime. We might be in set for a barn burner here, Rod.
Oh, it's a battle royale.
Oh, yeah.
You know. I mean, if you like high school football, it doesn't get much better than this.
Man,
great
weather.
You can say what you want about the Camden counties and the Valdosas and the Lowndes. Little old Class A football, it doesn't get any better than this.
Yes, give me that South Georgia football.
And the Indians have a player down before the kickoff. It looks like it might be a cramp problem because he just went right down.
That's Alex Kuntz.
And Alex Kuntz is the captain of the defense for the Indians. And they're out there stretching him out a little bit. But it's still a one-score game with a 2-point conversion, and Dooley's right back in this thing, Charles.
Yes, they are. That's why you want to be very careful if you're Seminole.
And you can talk to Coach Ingram if you want to. He's going to say if Kuntz can't get back in there, that's a huge loss for the Indian defense.
He is the heart and soul of this defense. Look like it appears to be just a cramp.
Get some fluids in him and work that thing out. So the Indians bring in Jordan Davis to replace him. Here is some boot to leather. The high end over end kick. Fielded about the 6-yard line. 10, 15 to the 20. And dives forward close to the 30-yard line. And that's where they're going to mark it, right at the 30, where the Bobcats will take over with decent field position. And Dooley County, Charles, they've been slinging the ball pretty well. And if I'm Dooley County, I keep asking the same question until the Indians can prove they can answer it.
If you can't stop it, I'm going to keep slinging it at you. I mean, we can't stop your run, and you're giving it to us, so I'm going to give you my pass.
And Smith immediately in the gun.
No sign of Alex Kuntz, so he must be cramping pretty bad.
Well, Jonathan Hudson will take over being captain of the defense right now. Hudson trying to run to the quarterback, and it's incomplete. Pass intended for number 12, Lundy, and that one he didn't hold on to.
He threw it kind of behind him. The receiver was going one way, and it was kind of behind him.
Well, Smith, it doesn't look to me like he's the kind of quarterback that likes to throw on the run.
Well,
and he was rolling to his far side, tried to throw it back over the middle, and that's tough.
Yeah, he's doing everything he can to avoid pressure because he's not a big kid, so I don't think he wants to get hit either.
So it's 2nd and 10 for the Bobcats, and they're back in the gun again. Moves his tail back to the near side. Smith back, just slinging it. And it's caught.
Wide open.
And Wiggins just mistimed it. I think he was going for the interception, thought he pushed off. It could be offensive interference. There is a flag down. It couldn't be. I don't think it could be.
It's
going to be against the Indians. A hold against the Indians. It is declined, so the play will count.
Yeah, so of course you're going to decline that.
Take the ball to the 35-yard line, where it's 1st and 10 Bobcats.
Wiggins, just another case of him being too short. I mean, he just mistimed it. He was there. Still no sign of Alex Kuntz.
Smith stays in the gun. They put it in the belly. He's got a big hole. The Indians were on a blitz. And it's a big first down for the Bobcats, down to about the 23-yard line where to be 1st and 10.
And Dooley is in the hurry-up mode.
Hudson lost his shoe.
Yeah, he's going to probably get an offside if he doesn't get back. And Dooley has a nice-looking drive going here.
And Hudson just throws his shoe off to the sideline.
And they're going to take a referee, going to take an official timeout.
The referees are going to stop action so he can put his shoe on. And Dooley County's coming out here really in this hurry-up offense and is giving the Indians fits so far in the last couple plays. Indians that time got caught in a blitz and
ran a little handout to draw play.
Running on the play was Shannon Hamilton that time. He's just a sophomore.
He's a big-looking sophomore, too.
And Dooley County moved. Indians were encroaching up to the line of scrimmage like they were going to blitz, and the right tackle moved, and that should cost Dooley County 5 yards. So it's 1st and 15.
If you're the Indians, some kind of way you got to come up with an interception or some kind of turnover here to stop this passing game.
So mark the ball back to the 28-yard line. Smith in the gun. Blitz
Got a
coming.
man.
Got a man out
Wide
there. Wide
open.
open touchdown. Wasn't even close.
He just ran past Siobhan Wiggins.
And the Indians just cannot stop that. That was number 4 on the touchdown pass, Courtney Clark.
He just ran straight past Wiggins. And maybe they're going to line up and go for 2 here. That's exactly what they're going to do.
So Dooley County lining up for 2, quarterback in the gun.
He's going to try to run this.
He's going. He's got a man out there, and it's
Almost
broken up.
intercepted.
Almost intercepted. So the extra point is no good. The score remains 28-26, Indians. So Dooley County went for 2, and it backfired on them on that play, but the Indians are going to have to do something to stop this pass of the Bobcats if they want to entertain any possibility of winning this game. Yes, they're winning by 2, but if you keep giving up big plays like that,
It's going to come back to hunch.
score that touchdown at the 8:34 mark of the third quarter. So Dooley's got it teed up. Back deep is Alex Fudge for the Indians.
The kick is big Montravius Adams again. I tell you, Roger, he doesn't get tired, does he?
No, he doesn't.
And
Field about the 9-yard line. Danny Rambo with it. He's got a hole up the
Spates.
middle.
That's Robert Spates.
Oh, Spate. I'm sorry. Robert Spate on the carry. So Robert gets up to the 36-yard line. We're to be 1st and 10 Indians. So the Indians go back into the traditional I formation. Martin still the quarterback under center. Gives it to Thomas Akins, trying to go around the right side. Breaks one tackle and leans forward to about the 41-yard line. Coach Ingram is hollering like crazy, not because he wants a face mask penalty, but because somebody missed the block.
Yes.
So what could have been a 2-yard loss turns into a 4-yard gain at 2nd and 6.
And he is a powerful running back to be a freshman.
And now they're talking to the referee about the face mask penalty not being called.
Yes.
2nd and 6. Give it to Aiken again. Cuts it up the middle. What a move. There was a defender staring him right in the face. He gains another 4 yards. It'll be 3rd and 2.
How does he know as a freshman? I mean, just natural instinct.
It's just, yeah, I mean, you hit the nail on the head, Charles. It's just natural. You can't teach a lot of that.
Nothing you try to teach, you can't teach it. It's just, I mean, he is big and fast, but to be able to cut like that as a freshman, that's unbelievable.
Martin barking out the signals. 3rd and 2. Gives it to Aiken. Trying to get the point. He's got a first down and he's got a hole. And he just keeps running over players. He'll take it down to about the 44-yard line, maybe the 43. And big number 64 for the Bobcats. Jason Wiley slow to get up. And they mark it at the 43-yard line where it's 1st and 10 Indians.
And I tell you, Roger, it's going to come down now to guts and glory on both sides because both sides are tired and weary. So it's going to be who can press on.
This time the Indians have a wing on the near side. Gives it to Thomas Akins again. And Akins, gain of about 3 yards to the 40, bring up 2nd and 7.
Dooley has a player down.
And while the Bobcat player is down, there'll be a pause in the action. Big number 58 for Dooley County, Tyrell Durisso is the player down, but he gets up, walking off on his own power. And, Charles, you love to see that. Don't want to see anybody get hurt.
Yes, nothing serious. He's a big kid to be in 11th grade, too.
So 2nd and 8 coming up for the Indians. And I think both teams, Charles, needed that little rest.
Oh, bad. Both teams are exhausted.
This time they move Montravius Adams to this near side where the Indians have been running the ball.
And run it to the left.
And there they go. They give it to Thomas Aiken. Thomas breaks one tackle. He breaks another tackle. And he's going to be close to a first down.
I think he has it.
Going to mark the ball at about the 32-yard line. He had to get to the 33, so it should be a 1st and 10 Indians.
Yes.
And it is. At the 6:24 mark of the third quarter. I tell you, the game plan right now for the Indians, Charles, you can see it. Wherever Adams is, that's where the Indians are going away from.
Yes, and now Thomas is going to get a much-needed break. And let's see if Robert Spates can maintain the running. Robert Spates is lightning fast.
Yes, he is. Martin keeps it himself, just puts his head down, and maybe a gain of a yard on the play.
It's a great play by Martin, not to turn it over with the pitch.
So 2nd and 9 coming up. This time Hamlet comes over to get the play instead of the quarterback for the Indians. Indians doing a little bit of a no-huddle action here, barking the signals out at the line of scrimmage.
They got a little confusion going on here.
Now they got everybody set. Martin gives it to Hamlet straight up the gut. Hamlet gets to about the 29-yard line.
And we're shuffling different. The Indians are shuffling different players over, taking the play in.
It's going to be 3rd and 7 coming up for the Indians. Spate comes back in with the play this time.
Maybe 4-down territory here.
Clock running. The Indians are going to have to be careful of a delayed game penalty here. Taking a long time to get this play off. Martin changing the play. He better hurry. He gets a snap.
He
Keeps it himself. Martin trying for that first down.
And he got it.
Dives ahead for the first down. Marking the ball just at about the 20-yard line. We're to be 1st and 10 Indians.
And here comes Big Thomas Akins back in the game.
Clock stops at the 4:33 mark to set the chains. So they marked the ball at the 19. That was a big conversion for the Indians right there, Charles. Pitch it to Aiken, the ball on the ground. And who's got it? I think the Indians
got it back.
Looks like the Indians recovered it, but not a good pitch. I don't think Thomas was even looking for it.
He wasn't. It was a big break for the Indians, nevertheless.
But a huge break for Dooley County on stopping that play.
Oh, yes.
Loss of 5 yards on the play. It's going to bring up 2nd and 15.
I don't think you mind losing the 5 if you're Seminole rather than losing the fumble.
Hudson is looks like he's cramping up a little bit. He's going out. And Aaron Baskerville comes into the game for him.
Look like Coach Ingram is probably going to get a timeout here.
Yes, he's going to call a timeout here. Last we heard, Charles, Lincoln County was beating Wilkinson County 21-14 in the 3rd quarter.
Well,
the winner of this game will play the winner of that game.
Lincoln is up, look like 28-14 now.
Okay, you just got a score update, 28-14 Lincoln. If Lincoln wins, they will host, no matter who wins this game, Charles.
Yes.
And Lincoln County is right up there by the South Carolina border, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, right on the South Carolina.
Long ride, probably about a 6-hour ride from here.
Oh, yeah.
So you wonder what kind of play Coach Ingram's going to dial up here with this timeout. I think this timeout was more just to settle them down.
Yes.
After that play, because these are kids, they get rattled very easily.
Well, you had John Hudson. He was cramping, and you kind of want him in as a big blocker. He's bigger than Aaron Baskerville. Right here, Roger, you have to be careful with it, but you may want to go back to the pop pass. But you have to be very careful that Dooley doesn't pick that thing off.
Alex Kuntz is back in the game for the Indians, so his must have gotten over his cramp that he had.
And that's great to see. You don't want to try nothing here as far as that can turn it over, but you got 3 downs to get this.
Well, the last time they had 3rd and 16, they gave it to Hamlet, and he got 17.
Oh, yes.
But it's 2nd and 15. Martin pitches it to Aiken. Aiken looking to get the corner flag down on the play.
And Aikens is going in the end zone.
Aiken's going to score, but it's coming back. It's going to come back for a hold.
It's going to come back.
So Dooley County catches a big break there.
Yes, because Thomas Aikens had shot through.
Scoreboard had already changed, but he's going to have to change it back now. So a 10-yard penalty.
And that is a big penalty.
They're going to take the ball to the 34-yard line. Indians have to get to the 9-yard line for a first down, so it's 2nd and forever. 2nd and about 25. And you wonder if that hold had anything to do with Thomas Aiken going to the end zone.
Pretty sure it did. There he is again.
They give it to Thomas Aiken again. And this time he's dropped down just inside the 30.
I think if he'd have stayed outside, he could have got in the end zone on that one.
So it'll be 3rd and 21. But the Indians, as you said, Charles, probably in this area of the field, it's too far for a field goal, and you're not going to punt it.
Well, you might want to try that little pop pass here.
Hey, you might, yeah.
I mean, you need to score some points with Dooley's high-powered offense.
Martin up under center.
There
looking
it is.
Looking to pass. And it's intercepted. Intercepted about the 20, run back to the 24-yard line. So the Bobcats with new life again. And the 3rd turnover of the game for the Indians.
Yes. And I mean, just come back and play defense.
And not a good pass from Jakari Martin that time, Charles.
No,
he threw it right to it. Threw it right to the
And
defender.
I just told you don't want to get down here and do a little turnover. Something that's unnecessary.
Mark Lloyd with the interception for the Bobcats. So the Bobcats have it 1st and 10 from their own 24-yard line.
And let's see if the Indians can play some defense and get a stop.
Well, they need to, because so far they hadn't been stopping them the last 3 times Dooley County's had the ball.
Sure has.
4 wide receivers for the Bobcats. Comes the blitz. They throw a screen pass.
Oh, perfect time screen.
And a perfectly timed screen. There's the flag down. You're going to have a block in the back. So this play is going to come back. 2 referees saw it. Yep, block in the back.
A huge break for the Indians because he had a lot of green.
But I tell you what, Charles, he was in that area where it was around the line of scrimmage. You're allowed to do that within 3 yards of the line of scrimmage. So a close call that time by the referees.
Well, they're discussing it because that play happened in the tackle box.
And the penalty's going to stand.
Wow, that was a perfect call right there against that blitz look, just a little bit of screen.
So every time the Indians show that blitz look, I think the Bobcats are audibling out of it and going to that screen pass, and it's very effective.
Yeah, they're picking up a lot of yards with that.
Take the ball back to the 14-yard line where it'll be 1st and 20.
Well, I'll tell you, the way they're throwing the ball, 20 yards doesn't seem like much at all to them.
No, it doesn't. 2:14 to go in the 3rd quarter. Trips to the near side.
Both sides are rocking.
Everybody's standing. Rushing the quarterback, and they got pressure on him. He got away. He's still running. Boy, he's an athlete. Out of bounds.
He's going to be close to a first down.
No, he's out of bounds. It looks like at about the 31-yard line. But it'll be 2nd and short. Indians had him back there and let him go.
Let him get away.
Clock stops at 1:50 to go, 3rd quarter. Mark the ball at the 32-yard line. I'm sorry, it's 2nd and 2.
And this game is going to go down to the wire probably.
Well, if the Indians don't stop him, it's Dooley County's fixing to have a lead here. There's a snap. Quarterback looking, throws it over everybody's head. It'll be 3rd down.
And I tell you, they're not getting much pressure on him at all.
Well, the only way they're doing it is trying to rush 5 or 6 guys, and when that happens, they just throw that little screen pass.
Oh, yeah.
And it eats the Indians up. Dooley County has the Indians' defense on their heels right now.
I mean, and everything they're doing is kind of working.
Trips to the far side this time.
You may see a run here, Roger.
And the Indians jump off sides. Offsides on the play is Brendan Kimball, so that'll give the Bobcats an automatic 1st down. So the blitz was called again, and the Indians jumped off sides. So 1st and 10 for the Bobcats at the 37-yard line. Now Coach Ingram puts a safety back there in the middle of the field. Just slinging it long. Man out there, and it just jumps up and catches the ball. He just wanted it more. Mark the ball down.
What a catch.
They're going to mark the ball. Looks like at about the 32-yard line, 33-yard line.
And they just have no answer for this passing game of Dooley.
And the Indians have a player down. Looks like it's Robert Spate. Clock stops at 1:35 to go third quarter, and the Bobcats will have it 1st and 10.
No answer for this passing game of Dooley.
And that was Robert Spate, number 9, who was down for the Indians.
If he just turns around, he's in perfect position for that. But nevertheless, it's a first down for Dooley.
Player gets off the side of the field, and Dooley County comes back out 1st and 10 from the Indian 33-yard line.
Got to get to that quarterback if you're the Indians.
But he's so elusive. When they get to him, they can't tackle him. Smith looking.
They got him this time.
This time he is caught in the backfield for a sack.
And Darius Burr has to be careful of getting a late hit there.
They're going to give him progress to the 42-yard line.
And maybe the first sack of the night on him.
It's going to be 2nd and 19 for the Bobcats.
And maybe that's a sign that this Dooley County offensive line is tiring.
Indians with 3 down linemen this time on defense.
He's
Quarterback just slinging it up there. Got a man out there.
It's
intercepted.
It is.
It is intercepted Indians. The pass was short, and Wiggins comes back and intercepts the ball for the Indians.
And I tell you, Roger, that is a beautiful interception. He laid on his back for that one.
Yes, he did, because he got all turned around as well.
Yes. It was underthrown, and he had to go get it.
And don't know why, because the quarterback can definitely throw it that far.
Yes, but some reason he got away from him and just underthrew him, and Wiggins went and got it. And the Indians needed that break.
Indians take over with 34 seconds left in the third quarter. Ball marked. Looks like at about the 12-yard line.
Where they don't need a turnover at.
No.
If you're the Indians, hold on to this ball for dear life because they're coming for it.
And I'll bet you don't see Ingram pass the ball.
I tell you what, Roger, if you can take this ball here and score, you pretty much can seal your fate with this game.
Oh, a lot of time left, Charles.
It's a lot, but you
saw what they did at the end of the second quarter.
Oh, yes.
Give it to Thomas Aiken.
And maybe one.
Oh, he lost yardage back to the 10-yard line. He lost a couple of yards. It's going to be 2nd and 12.
Well, I tell you, that's the way you don't want to go.
No, they're calling it 2nd and 11. I'm sorry.
Because this is not running for halftime. You still have a quarter to go here.
And the Indians do not have to run a play. The ball was just marked for play, and it's 8 seconds left in the third quarter, and I believe the Indians are going to take it to the fourth quarter. Stay tuned. You have a little video break. We'll be back for the fourth quarter.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot at this.
Back here in Seminole Stadium in Donalsonville. Start the fourth quarter with the Indians leading 28-26. And they've got 2nd and 11 from their own 10-yard line.
And you don't want to have a turnover here, Ross.
Not if you're an Indian fan. You don't. If you're a Bobcats, that's exactly what you're looking for. And the way the Indians have been turning it over tonight.
Yes. You want to hold on to this tight. If you're the Indians or you're the Bobcats, you want to keep doing what you're doing to try to get it out of their hands.
Indians line up in the I formation.
Akins is hit, and he turns it over.
The ball is out.
And Dooley kind of has it.
No, I don't think not yet. They haven't marked it yet. The Indians got it back.
I'm sorry, Ross.
But Aiken got creamed over
in
there.
the backfield.
So it's 3rd and 11 coming up for the Indians.
And if Dooley can come up with a stop here, they're going to have a huge field position. I mean, great field position.
11:20 to go in the fourth quarter. Martin under center in the eye. Just right up the gut.
It's Thomas Akins for about.
Like he got about 3 yards. It's going to be 4th and 8.
And you need a good punt here.
And regardless of what happens here, Dooley's going to have great field position.
I tell you, Roger, you want to be careful too, because number 12 looked like he has some speed.
Oh,
so
he does.
One of these corners.
Oh, he does. Back deep is Chris Lundy for Dooley County.
They're coming after this punt. False start. They're really coming now.
That'll cost the Indians 5 yards. So the Indians here are just shooting themselves in the foot.
Literally. Falling apart at the seams. They were coming too.
So 4th and 14 now. Or 4th and 13, I'm sorry.
Still some confusion.
Referee here. Reset the play clock, okay. There's the kick. Martin gets it away. Fielded at about the 43-yard line. And tackled down at about the 37.
It's a good tackle by Danny Rambo. Let's see if the Indians can come up with another turnover, Rob. Or can Dooley get some points here?
Yeah, Dooley so far, unless they stop themselves, because the Indians haven't stopped them.
Oh, no, they haven't. Just a misfortunate throw that the Seminole trounced on for an interception. But other than that, this old machine has been working fine.
So 10-17 to go in the ball game in regulation. The Indians up 28-26, but Dooley with a 1st and 10 on the Indian 37-yard line. And the Indians are very confused on defense right now.
Oh, yes, they are.
Quarterback in the gun.
And that should be a delay of game.
It should be, definitely. Quarterback running, Kuntz chasing. It throws it incomplete.
I don't know how they not called the delay of game, because it was more than 25 or 30 seconds.
And the Dooley County player went in motion and then turned upfield, and they didn't call that either.
I'll tell you, Alex Kuntz was chasing Mr. Smith then.
And he does not throw good on the run, does Smith.
Especially he was rolling left then trying to throw right.
And the quarterback looks like he's tired.
Yes,
hands on his hip.
As well as some linemen.
Smith stays in the gun. They put a man in motion. Smith rolling to the far side. He's got wide open territory. He's going to take off with it.
And that should be a block in the back, but it's not going to be called.
See where they mark him out of bounds. Looks like they're going to mark it at the 30-yard line. So it's going to bring up 3rd and 3.
And this is a big stand for the Indians, and a big series for Dooley County.
But a very manageable 3rd down for Dooley County here, Charles.
Yes, I think you got 2 downs to get this.
Oh, yeah. Put a man in motion. 3 receivers to the far side. Hand it off up the middle.
And
he is rocked.
Jalen Pearson.
Pearson with the tackle. So it's going to be 4th down for the Bobcats.
And what do you do here if you're Dooley? You're going for it?
You're going for it. No gain on the play. Maybe he actually lost the yard. It's going to be 4th and 4. And it looks like Dooley is going for it. No punter in there in the game right now.
Yes, they're probably going to heave this thing in the end zone.
Big play for both teams.
Yes, it is.
Smith looking. Throws it. Is it caught?
First down.
It is caught for a 1st down. Looks like at about the 23-yard line.
Danny Rambo was Johnny on the spot, but he got there too late.
Indians with another player down. And it looks like a cramp, and I think it's Alex Kuntz again. No, it's not Alex.
Yeah, it is.
It is Alex, yeah. .9:18 to go in regulation. Indians still up 28-26, but Dooley County with a big conversion on 4th down has a 1st and 10 at the Indian 24-yard line. Lincoln County is beating Wilkinson County 28-22, so a 6-point ball game there up in Lincoln County. And again, the winner of this game will play the winner of that game. If the Indians win and Wilkinson wins, you're back here in Seminole Stadium. If the Indians win and Lincoln wins, you go up to Lincoln.
Yes.
Lincoln is the number 1 seed in Class A this year.
You got to get out of this one. This is one that.
But we're talking way ahead of ourselves because this game is long from over.
Oh yeah.
And that's a big loss for the Indian defense.
Oh, yeah.
Alex Kuntz, like I said, he's the captain of the defense out there, and he is really hurting.
Yes, he's cramping bad. All right.
So 1st and 10 for the Bobcats. They stay in the gun. Smith looking. He started to take off with it. Throws over the middle, complete for a touchdown.
He just got behind Danny Rambo, and the pass was perfect to Chris Lundy.
A.J. Smith stepped right up in that pocket and threw a strike.
Yes, he did.
To Chris Lundy.
Do you go for 2 here? Do you go for 2 here?
Well, it's a 4-point game. It would make it a 6-point game.
Oh, yeah.
So Dooley County calls a timeout to think about it.
And they've taken the lead back.
They definitely have, 32-28 at the 9:04 mark of the 4th quarter. And the Indian defense, Charles, they're just being rattled right now.
Yes.
I mean, the only thing that's stopping Dooley County is Dooley County when they threw that interception or whatever, or throw a bad pass or something. But
well, when you threw the interception and then you came back and stopped them, that still gave you great field position after the punt.
Yep.
So you're receiving the ball on their side of the field. That's only helping you out with this passing game. So now Seminole has the ball and they can get that running game going again because Dooley's going to come out firing on all pistons on defense.
And Dooley County, they're wearing out the Indian defensive backs. I mean, just literally tiring them out. They just cannot keep up with Lundy at all.
Well, now if you're the Indians, like I said, you're going to have to find a way to block them because they're going to be fired up and their defense is going to be shooting.
Back here at Seminole Stadium. And it looks like Dooley County's lining up to go for a two-point conversion. I don't see a kicker in there. Well, anyway, Montravius Adams is the kicker, but he's lining up at tight end.
Yeah, and they're going to go in that I formation.
Put a man in motion. Smith going back to pass. Those
Wide
fade
open.
wide open, and the two-point conversion to Adams is good. Makes the score 34-28. Dooley County.
A lot of football left. If you're Seminole, you need to come right back and answer them. If not, this game is over.
But as we talked about at the beginning of the game, Charles, turnovers. And the Indians could not capitalize on the turnover that they got from Dooley County, but Dooley County has scored 2 touchdowns off Indian turnovers.
And the Indians are walking with their head down while Dooley is live. I mean, you're still not out of this game. Dooley has yet to stop your run game, so you have a lot of football left if you don't turn it over.
So it's a 6-point game right now with Dooley County up. So Adams about to kick off. And here is some boot to leather. And the ball goes out of bounds.
Let's see what kind of drive the Indians can put together here to get back in this game.
It looks like the Indians will have the ball at the 35-yard line. We're to be 1st and 10. Charles, it may come down to this game who's got the ball last.
Oh, yes. If the Seminole has to show that they can still run this ball, because the last series they did not run well on blue. So let's see if Seminole can establish their dominance on the run again.
Martin under center with an I formation behind him. That's Hamlet and Aiken. Give it to Thomas Aiken. Thomas trying to get the corner. Breaks one tackle. And Aiken with about an 8-yard run on the play. Take it up to the 43. We're to be 2nd and 2.
And he is a big kid that just lowers his shoulder and runs.
Put 2 receivers to the far side to the Indians this time. Give it to Aiken. Aiken's got a first down. Carries the ball to the 49-yard line.
Yes.
So it's 1st and 10 Indians on their own 49.
You don't need a turnover here, Roger.
Not if you're an Indian fan, you don't.
Driving pretty good.
Hamlet straight up the middle. He's going to gain about 5 yards. Close to 6 yards on the play. They're going to mark it just outside the 45. We'll call it 2nd and 5.
He almost wiggled free breaking that one.
And the Indians just want to drive this thing down. If if they can, just take a bunch of time off the clock.
Yes, and you need points here, though. You need points because you do not want to give it back to this Dooley offense. They're a new formation here.
Into a wing tee do the Indians. They put Aiken in motion. He trips and falls, gets the handoff, gets flying up in the air, and still gets to the 44-yard line. And another first down for the Indians on a busted play.
Unbelievable.
When I saw it first developing, I said, uh-oh, another turnover.
Yes, he slipped straight down.
But just another 7-yard run for Aiken, that's all. Clock approaching 7 minutes to go in the quarter.
You need points here if you're the Indians.
Give it to Aiken again. Aiken makes one cut, but tackled down at about the 36-yard line. So a gain of 2 on the play brings up 2nd and 8. Indians just trying to take that time off the clock, down to 6:35. Indians with 2 receivers here to the near side. Pitch it to Aiken. He fumbles the ball. But the Indians do recover. But a big loss on the play of about 6 yards. It's going to bring up 3rd and long. It's going to bring up 3rd and 14. Clock running, 6 minutes to go in the regulation.
And the Indians got to get something going here. You do not want to get this ball back to Dooley.
So a big play for the Indians here. Gives it to Thomas Aiken. He's caught in the backfield. There's Adams. He comes around the edge and makes the tackle. No gain on the play. It's 4th and 14.
And he really shot up the ball in.
Clock still running at 5:20 to go in the ball game. Ball's been marked for play. Indians have to get it inside the 30 to about the 29-yard line for a first down.
And here comes a definite passing situation. Kind of some confusion here.
Thomas lined up at a wing. Back to pass is Martin. Throws it. Looking. Aikens misses the ball. Bobbled the ball, and the Indians will turn it over on downs. He had it in his hands, but couldn't bring it in.
Beautifully called play, just couldn't execute it. And the game is not over if you're Seminole. You just got to get a turnover or stop here.
4:39 to go in regulation, and Dooley leads it 34-28.
Now, if you're Dooley, do you stick to the pass or do you try to run this clock out?
I think you got to try to take some time off the clock. The Dooley County Charles have trailed all night long, except, they scored first, and then the Indians scored, and ever since then, Dooley had trailed until here in the 4th quarter.
Yes, they've just been chasing.
Now they go into the eye. Quarterback looking to pass.
He has a man.
He's got a man wide open, and he overthrows him off his fingertips. Just off the fingertips of Courtney Clark. That stops the clock, and it's 2nd and 10.
Wide open. And they fooled the Indians then because they were just sure they were going to try to run this clock out. Dooley's looking to add more points. He has a cannon.
And you're right, Charles. That fooled everybody in the stadium, I think.
He lined up in the eye, but he dropped back and heaved it.
Dooley County went for the knockout punch, but couldn't quite complete the pass. Smith goes up under center again. This time they give it to the tailback, and nothing going there. Back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and 10. Clock running at 4:25.
Huge defensive stand here for the Indians. Huge stand.
Yeah, no. If the Bobcats are able to convert this first down, you can start warming up the fat lady.
Yeah,
because it's going to take a lot of time off the clock.
Oh, yes. And it's safe to say they're going to go back and try to heave this ball. Now's the time when you need a big sack.
They line up with the 4 receivers, quarterback in the gun.
They got 2 wide receivers. One is uncovered out here. Jonathan Hudson is being held.
Looking. He's sacked in the backfield.
Got it.
Ball comes out. Oh, they're calling him down.
Should have been intentional grounding. The Indians are going to get the ball back with probably good field position and a lot of time on this clock. They'll try to get this game.
Clock is still running at the 3:25 mark. Indians do have 2 timeouts left.
And they can get great field position here. Just cannot turn this ball over.
The Indians decide to save that timeout. It's 4th and about 22 to go for a first down.
And they're not going to put anybody back deep. Why, I don't know. Because you can get excellent field position out of this. You don't want to take a chance of getting the roughing the kicker here.
Here's a punt. It's not a good punt at all. And it's going to hit. And the Indians are going to have the ball on their own 48-yard line.
Well, the game is riding on this.
2:46 to go in the ball game, Charles, and we've been saying all night long it could come down to who has the ball last.
And now it's time to see what the Indians can do with it. Excuse me.
Well, they're marking the ball at the 49-yard line where the Indians will have 1st and 10.
And it's safe to say everything here is 4-down territory. All you got to do is hold this ball and establish some kind of drive.
So do the Indians have one more drive in them, and do the Bobcats have one more stop in their defense? It all comes down to this.
This line of scrimmage, that's where it's going to be won at. Both sides, the fans are rocking.
Gives it to Hamlet. Hamlet, gain of about 3 yards on the play. It's going to bring up 2nd and 7. Clock still running at 2:35. And the Indians got to hurry up here if they want to get something going. And the Indians do not run the hurry-up offense very well.
No.
In the eye. Pitches it to Thomas Aiken. Makes a cut.
And he just made something out of nothing.
Gets to the 45-yard line.
And this clock is running.
Indians do not stop it yet. It's going to be 3rd and 4.
And they're not in hurry-up mode.
Clock at 2 minutes. Third and 4 coming up for the Indians. Clock running at 1:45.
Big 3rd down, Roger.
Martin takes a snap.
Some confusion.
And I don't even know who's got the ball.
Daquan
Hamlet. And it's 4th down.
This is where you want to just ride Thomas Aiken. You should have rolled him 3rd down.
Coach Ingram does not stop the clock yet. It's 4th down. The game is right here. It's 4th and 4. 1:15 to go.
And the Indians are not in a hurry-up mode.
Clock approaching 1 minute. Martin looking, trying to, was going to run with it. Martin has a first down for the Indians. He gets to the 40-yard line. Gain of 5 on the play. The clock will stop at 56 seconds to go. He was looking to throw it and didn't feel comfortable in throwing it.
Now with your timeouts, Roger, you want to try to get this. Let Thomas Aikens try to pop one.
Clock runs now. Under 50 seconds. There's a
They got
flag
a
down. Clock will stop with 40 seconds to go.
Timeout Indians.
See what the flag is. It's surely probably going to be holding.
Yes.
Holding call against Seminole County.
And that's something you didn't need.
See if Coach Ingram's going to, the referee was asking, do you still want to have the timeout? Ball marked back to the 49-yard line where it's going to be first and 19.
Left in the game.
And let's see what the Indians come out with here with 40 seconds.
So the Indians do not take the timeout, and the clock starts.
Thomas
Give it to Akins. Akins looking for some running room, gets flipped up to at the 42-yard line.
And a host of Dooley players are down.
30 seconds left in the game, and the Indians do take a timeout. So it's coming down to this, Charles.
I think you want to slip Siobhan Wiggins somewhere out here. He can catch the ball, him or Robert Spates.
Yeah, I tell you, the lost opportunity, though, was when we dropped the pass on fourth down on the last possession the Indians did. Ball's marked at the 42-yard line. It's 2nd and 12. But a whale of a ball game, Charles, no matter who wins this thing.
Both teams, a hard-fought game, hard-fought game.
So with 30 seconds to go and 2nd and 12, Charles, you got to go 42 yards to get in the end zone.
You definitely don't need a turnover at this point.
Oh, no, a turnover, the game's over.
Oh, yeah.
But what do you do from the 42-yard line with 30 seconds left?
Well, you got another timeout. I think I might try to run Thomas over. He can pop it, then try to pass, or maybe you try to pass. Who knows? We're not a very good passing team. And I think Dooley is expecting the pass. Got some confusion here.
Well, Jakari's going to be in the gun.
And Dooley is expecting. Well, Dooley's going to call time.
Dooley County calls a timeout. You're exactly right. Boy, what an exciting game, Charles.
Great game, great game.
Seminole County, pretty much had things in their own hand, up 21-7. Let Dooley County right back in at the end of the second half and has been a barn buster ever since.
Oh, yes.
Dooley County has scored 2 touchdowns in this second half. Seminole County only 1.
But that has been the key. You did your thing at will on them the first half, and you just came the second half, and they outplayed you, basically. But it's still 30 seconds to go. Anything can happen.
Oh, yes. 2nd and 12 coming up for the Indians after the timeout. Coach Savage, the offensive line coach for the Indians, out there talking to his offensive line, saying if you've never blocked anybody before in this game, you got to block them now.
I'm lining Robert Spates, Siobhan Wiggins. I'm putting all my good hand guys out there. So they're going to take Robert Spates back out.
Tyler Peters over there on the far side for the Indians as a receiver with Wiggins.
You got the block because Montravis Adams and his company is coming.
Shakari Martin in the gun. Martin back, looking, being flushed out of the pocket. Pass is short.
Wiggins.
They caught by Wiggins for a first down at the 25-yard line. Got to hurry up and get down there. The clock is stopped at 19 seconds. 19 seconds left. Clock running. And he spiked the ball with 15 seconds to go. So it's 2nd and 10.
And it's not over yet.
Ball's been marked for play. Last thing in the world the Indians need now is a delay of game penalty.
Yeah.
1st and 10 at the 25. Indians need a touchdown and extra point to win it.
You got to block.
Martin back to pass, being rushed. Throws it off his back foot, incomplete.
Still has time, though, 11 seconds.
11 seconds left in the game. A lot of contact back there, but nothing called. Maybe time for 2 plays, Charles.
Yes.
Maybe. It's 3rd and 10.
You're going to have to block. Dooley is bringing the house.
So it all comes down to this for a berth into the Final Four of Class A football.
Yes. 11 seconds to go. You got to block if you're the Indians.
Jakari in the gun. Jakari rolling out. Throws it. Oh, it's incomplete to Akins. He dropped it at the 5-yard line. 6 seconds left. 4th down. This is the play of the game right here. That's the second one that Akins has dropped.
You cannot take a sack here.
This is the ball game, folks. 6 seconds to go. Dooley up 34-28. Indians with 4th and 10 from the 25-yard line, and Dooley is going to call a timeout.
Huge drop by Thomas Akins then.
So do we have a 25-yard pass play in the book, Charles?
If you don't, you got to make one up.
Boy, don't you love it when it comes down to the wire like this.
Huge drop then.
And stay tuned. After the final gun, we'll go down to the field for some interviews. Referees calling the players back out onto the field. This is the play of the game. See what the Indians can dial up here on 4th and 10 from the 25-yard line, but that's not the important thing right now.
Got to block.
Got to get in the end zone. 6 seconds to go. Martin just heaves it up. Got a man out there.
Jamal Wiggins.
He drops the ball. Incomplete, and the game is over. Dooley County wins it 34-28.
The clock's showing 12 minutes, so my guess is that's double zeros. Holy escape tonight. How about that? Let's see. Fitzgerald now over Jefferson 37-31. Jefferson about to get the ball. So we'll get started on all the scores.
Coach Ingram, hard-fought ball game, come out on the losing end of it, unfortunately, 34-28 for you guys, but a season that nobody expected.
It still came down to 2 official calls.
Yeah, I know it. I know it. And I know you weren't happy about it.
Same crew they had last week. And, you know, that's the first thing I'm going to talk to Georgia High School about.
Well,
but you know, that's a good football team. You know, we knocked them on their butts, I can tell you that. And our young kids, when you know, we got what we got, and we get cramp. You know, we got 2 or 3 cramps. The officials should have given timeouts in there for a water break. But you know, we got 2 or 3 kids cramps, and we can't make any adjustments. You know, in the secondary to give us some help in there. But you know, it was what it was.
Yeah,
and it comes down to, you know,
the final play, and we had a chance. Had a chance at it.
And we could have got a flag down there on the last play, but if we'd been in the other uniforms, we might have gotten it.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, and it's tough when you lose a game like this because you had them in hand 21-7 at the end of that second quarter. Really punched you in the face almost.
Absolutely.
But Coach,
we have 21-7 missed a pop pass in there. It's supposed to be a 28-7 ball game, and it's over with.
yeah,
probably.
It probably would have been over with, but they just came out in that second half and started slinging it. And
did you see the big boy do anything?
No.
They're 32.
He made, I think, 3 tackles.
Everybody
what I saw tonight.
All week, what y'all gonna do with him? I said we're gonna play football with him.
That's it. And you did. And he, matter of fact, he didn't like it so much he didn't even hardly play any offense tonight.
He didn't want nothing to do. He didn't want to play defense either.
No. But Coach, I know you're disappointed, but you took a team this year that nobody thought had a chance to do anything all the way to the Final 8. You know, 1 play away from the Final 4. And so give us your thoughts on the season as a whole.
Bunch of young kids that, you know, just wouldn't, they figured it out, you know, pretty early that it wasn't an individual thing. You know, it was a team game. And you know, they just, I don't know, just fought, got together, decided to play the way the game ought to be played, you know. And they gave her all the whole season. But, you know how kids are.
Got grandkids here, yeah.
North Georgia youngins here.
But, Coach, I know you're disappointed. I know you well enough to know that. But still had a very successful season. Ended up 9-3, and you know you'll tee it up and come back again next year.
Absolutely,
Coach. Appreciate your time. Appreciate you all year long.
Appreciate you. Appreciate y'all, Coley, the whole staff. Appreciate what y'all do for us.
All right, that's Coach Ingram. Once again, our final score: Dooley County 34, Seminole County Indians 28. Dooley County goes on to the Final 4 to play either Lincoln or Wilkinson County. For all the guys, Charles Scott, for Bob, for Marcus, I'm Roger Cunningham. Until next time, good night, everybody.
1 match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot.